All right, welcome everybody. We've got some wonderful tunes playing. Go ahead and turn them down a little bit. I should probably, I like that there's a little percentage there. Hopefully I am audible now. I am in the middle of trying to get things set up just a little bit over here. I'm going to get over to my stream manager so I can also see the stream as we go. Things are looking much better. I have my social bridge chat room thing working a lot nicer than it used to. I'm very happy with how it's turned out. I'm very happy with how it is coming along. There's a few little quirks here and there about it that I need to get taken care of, but I might show that off in a little bit if more folks come on. For now, we are in the now playing section. Nostalgic Nights, as it says. I would like to hear it a little bit better. So I'm going to pop that in there. That's good. Much better. If it ever is a little too loud, however, let me know, and I can go ahead and turn that down relatively easily. For now, where are things sitting with this? I get that all connected. That's fantastic. Overlays showing nicely. I'm gonna do a little bit of a refresh just to see if anything weird pops in at all. And we can kind of go from there. Overlay is apparently working a little better. Just waiting for the TikTok one to show up on my end at the very least. It is in the chat overlay on the screen itself. So we'll see how that all plans out. For now, I don't think anybody else has joined us. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and hop into some Pandas Talking Games editing. And to do that, I'm going to go ahead and hop into here and send a little message. On Twitch. What can I see that goes, "Hey Caroline, how's it going? Wonderful to see you. I'm just getting things set up over here. I've got cool things to show off if you want to see. I don't know if you heard the little sound that hopped in when that chat came in, but I got my chat sound working finally, so I can finally hear when somebody chats me if my attention is elsewhere. Fully configurable. This is it's an oven timer sound that I had downloaded from somewhere. I think it was on freesound.org. And I uploaded it to my app into the settings here, wherever my thing is, and it will play. This is such a messy page. I got to fix that. It will play in here whenever a chat message comes in. I'm not on my account right now. Otherwise, it would show. Down here, it shows this little oven beep. So yeah, whenever messages come in, now it works, and I'm really happy about that. Got it so that I can actually like hide messages for good now, which is fantastic. Before there was a little bug where I hid them and then they showed back up if I refreshed the page. It was very annoying. And now I need to figure out like what's up with all of the like chats received and stuff like that. Because it's supposed to update in real time here. It's supposed to update compared to like what chats I get from each platform. But I have 0 chatters on Twitch and it says I've received 78 messages so far, which is bonkers. But everything else is kind of working well enough. At the very least, my overlay is doing nicely. I can see it's populating everything on there. I've got things just kind of working in that sense. I'm working on a new workflows thing, but it's not exactly working right now. It's supposed to be like whenever a new event comes in, it goes through an actual workflow process. And if it gets interrupted at any point in the process, I can restart the app and it can pick up where it left off. Because right now, if it gets interrupted and the app dies or whatever, once the app restarts, it has no clue. It thinks it's already done the thing and it's never done the thing. So that'll be fun. Lots of little blips and bobbles that I threw in here as well that I'm going to be cleaning up also. So there's a lot of work left to do, but like it's coming along nicely. And right now it's at a point where I feel comfortable starting to develop the actual like chat bot framework, the cross Twitch TikTok chat bot, that it resides over on Twitch. But if a TikTok user uses one of the commands, it will pick up that command and respond to it in Twitch, which will show up on the chat overlay here. So it'll all kind of work together. So it'll also persist user stats. And like if a user catches certain items through the chatbot games, it will hold on to those regardless of if they're in Twitch or TikTok. And then you'll be able to kind of see your progress playing the fun little mini games that I have planned. So I'm excited for it. It's not been a fast process, but it's been a fun process. We're going to get into some Pandas Talking Games editing very shortly. I just wanted to throw people over to my Twitch chat room from the Pandas community. See if anybody's interested in showing up there, because I do not have auto posting to that community yet, because it is on Slack, and Slack is quite troublesome, but we're okay with it. For now, we'll keep some tunes on in the background. I'm going to be hopping over to Pandas Talking Games, episode 421, and it looks like I just need to match the loudness to -19 LUFS, so that way we have it nice and even sounding throughout. So that should just take a few seconds, which is not terribly bad. And then we can get into the actual editing. So I'm excited for this one. It's all about non-gamer, probably playing games with non-gamers or introducing RPGs to non-gamers is my thought. Also, another update on projects. I have the components for my PC upgrade. I have not had a chance to put those components together yet because I've been trying to fix my app. I've been trying to do editing and just unwinding from time to time. And I didn't want to have to deal with potentially yet another issue with a motherboard, CPU, RAM combo that just doesn't seem to work for whatever reason. So we'll see kind of after this stream, once I deliver the Pandas episode, I will be going through and upgrading my computer, I think, and seeing kind of how that turns out. If it works well, then everything will be a little bit smoother, which will be nice. So we'll see. Also of note, next week, Saturday, I will be on the Rollistas podcast live stream for Calum's new game, The Magic of Inventorying. I'm going to be playing an actual play of that with Senda and Phil from this show, as well as Alex Roberts, the designer behind Starcrossed and multiple other games. For the Queen is another big one that Alex designed. So Alex will be there. B Zelda is also going to be there. B is a massive force in the TTRPG community. They came from the Broadswords and a bunch of other projects, and now they do like professional stuff with live streaming and whatnot for role-playing games. And I believe there might be one other person joining us, but I cannot be certain on that. But it'll be a fun time. It's a delightful game. I played it once a long time ago, and this is the new like full release version. So I'm really excited to see what sort of stories we can tell out of there, especially with this group. So that'll be Saturday. What time on Saturday? Oh, I have it on my calendar. Let me pull it up real quick. I'll post about it on my Blue Sky and Discord as soon as I have more info on that. But it is on the 2nd, and it is from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock Central Standard Time in the US here. So mid-afternoon, not too bad of a time slot. I'll get the actual details of the channel, and we'll kind of go from there. But I've got plenty of streams between now and then, so I can get some actual links out there for folks. So all of that aside, I'm excited to play as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. Welcome. I'm about to get to editing your podcast, so we'll see how this all goes. All right, here we go. Let me know if the music is too loud.
Yeah. And I am clicked in.
You are clicked in. I am also clicked in.
Cool. Hi.
I'm going to make this window kind of smallish so I can monitor it if there's an issue. But other than that, we're hiding it away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, welcome.
Hi.
How's
welcome to you too. I'm good. I'm having a good day so far.
Good.
It's been a good time.
Hello, Ryan.
It is a weird. Hello,
Ryan.
Phil. Hello, Senda.
How was your vacation? Not Ryan, your vacation. We should talk about that in the Bamboo Lounge.
Yeah, we should talk about that in the
Hey, I
Bamboo
had a
Lounge.
day off too.
Yeah, what am I doing talking about it here? Jeez.
That's material.
But I cleaned the garage.
That's content.
That's content.
That's
That
just
was
coming
my
out of the
day.
content mines.
Yeah.
Can't be just wasting that away for nothing.
Just throwing it around like it wasn't a value. All right. I'm good. Everything's loaded up. Actually, I'm good that I should also just put my keyboard away from me, because that's the thing that I can accidentally hit and accidentally stop the recording when I talk with my hands.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'm good. Let's align audio.
Need to get my little
Okay, here we go.
Panda audio here. All right. Freelance file shares Panda audio files, and we need the send a bloop to pull in here, because we got to add little bloops for the bloopers. Is that good enough? Yeah, it should be fine enough. Okay. Now we'll pop another one over here as well. We don't need to hear the counting.
All right, there we go. Audio is aligned.
No, we have to do the silent part. We didn't do the silent part.
Shit. Okay, hang on. Shit. Ready? Silent part.
Come on, Phil. I understand. It's a Saturday. You guys had a week off, right?
It was really hard to be quiet when that was how we went into the silent part.
Also, hello to anyone listening on the stream, since I think that sometimes happens now.
Yeah. Maybe Ryan's editing this live.
If this is getting edited live and you're listening, then hi, welcome as well to you. We don't even know you.
You listen to the edited show later.
Yeah.
Come say hi.
You're like 2 layers of guest or something
We're super meta here.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's a show within a show.
Yeah, it's like a real meta.
Very Shakespearean.
Yeah, that's a real meta thing going on there. All right. That said, are we are we good for a little? What's it called? Are we good for a little getting started? A little intro, a little show. All right.
Yeah, let's go.
Sounds good. I can do that part. Ready?
Yep.
Guys are a little sleepy this episode. That's all right. All right, we're going to tighten this up a little bit and pull the blooper over there and then move these two out a bit more to give space for the ending blooper. I think 3 minutes is fine.
Hey, Sanda.
Hey, Phil.
So, do you want to play a game, but like, I don't know, like maybe not something traditional, like maybe something like I don't know, not violent, not fantasy. Like, are you down for something like that?
You know, I always am.
I
Let's
know,
go.
that was a loaded question. Cue music.
All right, before we get to the bump bump, we need a marker for music. No, not that one. Accidentally keep hitting my CD track sometimes. Music. The rare second occurrence of the theme song from Phil. Always appreciated because it gives us a little bit more time to fit in the actual intro music. So I'm going to move that little outtake to the outtake section, and we're going to toss in the actual music. I did mention it once before, Senda, and Phil mostly remembers, but it's not too bad. I always like to test to see like how close to the actual point you two are. And one episode, I will never forget it. It was exact. Like the outtake padding was perfect. I didn't have to move a thing. I was like, wow, this is good timing.
And welcome to another fine episode of Panda's Talking Games. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Phil.
And I am your other host, Senda. And for today's question, we had a note from Paul in our Slack room. And Paul said, hang on, let me skim past the first part that you all probably don't care too much about. Okay. Paul said, I recently had a chance to...
Let me,
and Paul said...
Let's make you sound more professional. Just because I'm here, why not?
Paul said, I recently had a chance to run an RPG for my significant other at their request, which is something that would normally be far outside of their comfort zone. So firstly, aside, huge applause. Go, Paul. That's super cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Carrying on. It went really well. I ran a session of One Honk Before Midnight, a chaos-forward, rules-light game heavily inspired by Untitled Goose Game. They had a great time as a horrible
Untitled
goose
Goose
terrorizing
Game.
a nervous
Amazing.
baking competition contestant. Amazing. Knocking over a honey display and stealing a hat with a ludicrously large feather from some jerk. We can probably get one more session out of that scenario, but now I'm trying to figure out what other RPGs might be fun for them. I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts on gaming with people who are not candidates to become traditional, quote, core gamers, perhaps because they're disinterested in the genre aesthetics of science fiction or fantasy, and they actively dislike action and violence-oriented stories, and also hearing your thoughts on crafting duet games with one player and one GM.
Yeah, there's a lot in here. There's a lot to unpack in here. I like this a whole bunch, and I kind of just want to like peel the onion layers a bit.
Sure, or like dig through the parfait.
Yeah.
Everybody likes parfait.
Everybody likes parfait.
I do like a good parfait.
I do like a good parfait.
Are you, just really as an aside here?
Yes.
Are you the kind of person who goes through a parfait layer by layer like it is a archaeological dig, or are you some sort of monster that like just thrusts your spoon like down to the bottom and just rips through all the layers on the way back up? Like which?
Okay, I'm going to answer this as well. I methodically try to spear a full layer party, I guess, just to get the full parfait experience, because it's a parfait. It's supposed to be all together, isn't it? I don't know. Every bite should have some of everything.
Well, no judgment.
Me personally?
Yeah.
I mean, you say no judgment, but you definitely described those two things
Like
very
a
differently.
monster.
I think actually the hilarious part of that question is I can't remember the last time I had a parfait. So
all right. Well,
I don't know if I
I'm
actually
going to
know
put that
the
to
answer
the
to
test
that.
next time you're out here.
It's just whenever there's layers and people bring up onions, I have like a Shrek twitch. And so the echolalian demands that I then say, what about a parfait?
Yep. I'm
make
in the
you
same
cry.
way.
Everybody
Like
likes parfaits.
Everybody likes parfait.
Okay.
So,
Anyway, we'll get into that later. That has a lot more to do with my neurospiciness than it does with Paul's topic. So moving on. So the first thing I want to just note here
Like a
is
cake.
right at the
You
top.
don't eat the frosting first.
One, a hat tip to Paul's significant other for asking to try their hand at role playing. Like, I think it's really nice when a non-gamer is interested enough in role playing to give it a test drive, right? My ex-wife did the same thing when we were first dating. Like, when I met her, I had an established game group. We were playing, I think at that time, I don't even remember what we were playing. I know what we wound up playing during that time, but it was, it was a big deal to me. And it was one of those things when I started dating, that was a non-negotiable, right? Like, I was not going to date anyone who wasn't going to be okay with me. That wasn't okay with me gaming. They didn't have to game, but they had to be okay with me gaming.
Mm-hmm.
And so my ex, the mother of my kids, she was like, I would like to give it a try. And I was like, okay, like, sure.
like, cool.
And we played, I think, whatever we were playing at the time. Like, we made her up a character. She played for a little bit. And she played for a little bit. And then was like, yeah, it's not really my thing. And I was like, yeah, no problem. Like, utmost respect. Thanks for trying it. But she just wanted to see what it was about.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So-
Which is nice because, like, that's trying to understand. Like,
Yeah,
what
and
are you doing with your, I don't know what day it was at the time, but like, what are you doing with your Friday nights, for example?
Exactly. Right. And I think that's really important because for a lot of us, I would say I would say if we're in the hobby, and I would say if you're listening to a hobby podcast, you're probably not what we would categorize as a casual gamer.
Right.
Right. Like,
Because that means now you're committing time outside of gaming to continue to think about gaming.
yeah. So you're probably not a casual gamer, which means that gaming has a certain amount of importance in your life. And if your significant other isn't a gamer, it's really nice that they took the effort to come to understand it because, that means they care to understand something that's really of interest to you.
My wife's first experience playing, one of the only times she actually played RPGs, was at a convention, playing Descent into Midnight, which is a very wildly out there game, where you play as aquatic aliens that never knew humanity whatsoever. And the world that you play on is completely alien and completely made up by the people at the table. And she had fun with it, but she had a lot of anxiety around playing the game as well, because she has a big social anxiety that she's trying to, overcome and everything. So when it came time for her to do stuff or say stuff, she was very apprehensive about it. And that's the part she didn't like too much. She liked the overall concept of playing, which was fantastic. We did end up playing Star-Crossed once together, just her and I, and that was fantastic. I won't get into details, but it was very nice. And she enjoyed that very much as well. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think she would enjoy role-playing if it wasn't for the social anxiety aspect of it. And honestly, I don't know if that would make a good Pandas episode, navigating like social stuff with RPGs. I don't know. I know it's one of those like, hey, sometimes you can't push past certain things, right? Sometimes you just need professional assistance with certain issues with the social contract.
That was a great experience to have.
Yeah, either way. But I'm also really happy to hear like that it sounds like they had a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, the description of that game sounds hilarious. And I've seen the video game that it's based on, which is also hilarious. So
yes.
Right. I'm down with that as well. Okay. So now to like kind of get back into Paul's question. Oh, no, one more layer. Sorry. I'm not ready to hit the question layer yet.
So many layers.
Right.
The other thing I will say is I think Paul did a really good job here.
Deluxe parfait
of making the first time game experience a lot of fun. The game in question here, rules light game and kind of whimsical.
Yep.
Right. Really nice way. We have done past episodes. If you are a member of our Patreon and you have access to our the entire 10-year library of our shows, we have done shows about introducing people into the hobby. And one of the pieces of advice we have used is to find games that are easy to get into and play, because sometimes what turns people off is a game that's like really heavy or complicated. And I know we're going to get some shit for the next thing I'm about to say, but I don't care. But D&D is not the easiest game to learn.
No,
it's not. I mean, you have to want to learn it, because when you say to someone, hey, would you like to play a game with us? And they're like, I don't know, maybe. And then you hand them a college textbook.
Yes.
The barrier to entry is high.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you that I commend you for getting into D&D at 3rd edition, because when I got into D&D, there was a basic set and it was like 96 pages soft cover, right? Like the entry level. and I will say this, right? Again, not to get too far off on tangents today, but I will say this. One of the nice things about the original box sets of D&D was that they only gave you the game a few levels at a time, right? The basic set of D&D, only the version I played, the Mulvey version, only covered up to level 3.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like,
oh, wow.
And it only had enough rules and spells and monsters to cover levels 1 through 3. You had to go, now this was TSR's plan, right? You had to go get the expert set. Right. If you wanted to go beyond that.
Sure.
And then the expert set added wilderness, right? So wilderness isn't even a thing in the basic set. You just are expected to go to a dungeon.
Interesting.
Yeah. And they gradually and then the companion set was more levels. And then it got into things like kingdom management. And then there's the master set, which I don't remember what it covers. And then there's the terrible immortal set, which they jumped the shark. Like they should have quit at the master set, but they kind of went bonkers. And anyway, that's neither here nor there. But I guess what I'm saying is, to go back to Paul's thing, another check in the right column is whimsical and light game. It's a really nice way to get people into role playing, because while there is an aspect of role playing that is minis and tactical decisions and stuff like that, in its purest form, role playing is about embodying a character and doing stuff, right? Yeah. And so playing a lighter game that lets you quickly get into the embodying a character and doing stuff while having just enough rules framework for the decisions you make to be interesting, right? I think that's great. Like, I think that's a great starter kind of, this is where lasers and feelings falls nicely. Like there's enough information in the first couple of paragraphs of lasers and feelings for you to get into a character, and just enough mechanics to make it interesting, but it's also light and whimsical.
It feels a lot like the starter packs for a lot of games that they're doing now, of like, hey, here's the starter rules, here's some pre-made characters for you. Here's some like stuff that will get you into learning about how the game works and how the game plays. and using that as a springboard to getting the full book, because now you're interested. It's almost like playing the demo of your favorite game and enjoying that and buying the full version of the game for the full experience. That's how I've always kind of thought about it.
Yeah. And I've also had, and we've talked about this on other shows, right? I've had really good luck with introducing people to role playing, also via
It's so good.
All Out of Bubblegum, because I have a specific Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy All Out of Bubblegum scenario that I tend to just pull out at random. And that one has also been very, very successful.
That one for me is
Bubblegum.
tricky because to me, much like the bubblegum that you play that game with, it runs out of flavor fast.
Now, I did make an All Out of Elder Signs version of All Out of Bubblegum, which reskins it to be Eldritch Horror, effectively. And when you run out of Elder Signs, you can just do whatever you want, right? Although it should technically be the other way around, like you're gaining Elder Sign. I don't know. Neither here nor there. That was like my first thing that I've ever designed as a game designer was All Out of Elder Signs. Where you pick a random ancient being that you're up against effectively, and you pick that from like a different game or a randomizer of eldritch beings, right? And then you just play through as yourselves, and it's the same concept. So it'll just like turn off your ability to actually walk normally down a street once you're completely out of your elder signs, but you can, like, you know, fly and backflip and do all sorts of wild things perfectly once you're all out of elder signs. So it gets off the rails really fast, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, it's part. I mean, I think that's a feature, not a bug, because if I'm introducing someone to a game for the first time, they're not sure they're going to like it, or I've gotten talked into playing a role playing game at a board game day, which is what has happened to me before. Right now, I'm running a 1.5 to 2 hour game, which is about all those rules really support. You don't really want to go longer than that.
100%. Okay.
The End of the World games are also fantastic. If anybody has played those at all, the End of the World games are where you play as yourself in an apocalyptic scenario. So it's very easy to get in character because you're playing yourself. So you would react and say what your character is doing as if you were actually experiencing X given apocalypse. Very interesting game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Do you want to add
No,
anything else?
It was a rabbit hole. Keep going.
Good. Okay. Perfect. All right. So good. So anyway, all right. So now I think I'm through my couple main points, which is that, Paul, I think you did a really nice job of creating the intro moment and experience.
Yeah. Okay, good. So which layers of the parfait have we eaten through now? Because I'm assuming we're going.
I think we got through like the first whipped cream and that first pudding layer that you're like, yeah, but you're like blocking me from, I don't know, the chocolate mousse or the chocolate chips or something else interesting, right? Like we've gotten through like the.
See, this is why you have to just get bites of everything.
Yeah, those top layers
all together in
you
one.
need to go with the bottom.
Twitch on camera. Okay. Let's get into that first question.
Phil, I'm sorry. I disagree with you.
So, hearing your thoughts on gaming with people who are not candidates to become traditional core gamers. So, I'm going to just quickly define core gamer as like, and we're just going to do this lazily. Don't get on my case about this.
Nerds.
But core gamer is going to be like a D&D player, right? Somebody who is going to take a moderate amount of mechanics, moderate to heavy amount of mechanics, is into the two main flavors of games, right? That the two main flavors
there we go.
of games, right? That's going to be fantasy, which is going to be like 80% of the pie, right? Sci-fi, which is like 15% of the pie. And then the 18, wedge is going to be like literally everything else that's not those two.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So they're not going to be a core gamer. They're not huge into those genres. And they're not particularly interested in running around and punching things to solve problems.
Yes.
All of these are not insurmountable. These are not insurmountable issues.
Not in the least.
Right. So what I would say is the best way to go at this, right, is to first discover what do they like, right? There must be some media that they like really enjoy, be it books, be it streaming shows, whatever. There must be something that they like, because that'll inform you to kind of where to hunt.
Yeah, like for example, if they had played the Untitled Goose Game, and that's why you picked this game to start off, right? So then the question is, what else have they enjoyed? And if the answer is, slice of life anime or something like that, there's like, Golden Sky Stories and a bunch of other games along those lines.
Yeah, this is going to be your sommelier moment, right? Like what you're going to do is like, what dish do they like?
Right.
And then what game pairs to that dish?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and that's exactly what I would do, because there's, find the other they are into.
Yep. And I think the reason you want to do that, right? The reason you want to do that is that in order to get into, not only just in order to get into the game, like it'll be easier to get them interested in a game that lines up to media they enjoy, but also it takes advantage of the fact that they know the tropes.
Yeah.
Right. So, and tropes, and again, this is actually, you can, again, if you have access to our full library, go dig around in the misdirected mark pile where we talk about the good part of tropes, right? Like there is a good part of tropes, which is they're shortcuts. They let you move, like they give you familiarity within a genre. And so if you're switching media, like from a TV show you like to a role-playing game, and the tropes that you like in the TV show are the same tropes that appear in the role-playing game, that's going to be familiar with you, right?
Yes.
But if let's say that you love, you'll see where I'm going with this in a second, but let's say that you love soap operas. Okay.
Sure.
Maybe Korean, Korean dramas, or maybe traditional American, or the telenovela.
I haven't seen Fairy and Demon in so long, but I really enjoyed my binging of that series.
Right.
Speaking of Korean dramas.
Okay, so my wife and I are also into Korean dramas right now. We have seen like 5 or 6 little series out there. Very enjoyable genre of TV shows out there. They are very like telenovela, soap opera-ish, Hallmark movie stretched out kinda, but like in a more interesting, I don't know how to describe it, but either way, quite enjoyable. We watch with subtitles for the most part.
Dramas.
Stay with me. Stay with me.
Sorry, I'm with you. Telenovelas.
Okay. So say that that's the genre they like. By saying like, hey, let's go play some D&D, none of those tropes aren't all going to show up in the game. And that genre comes with its own set of tropes. And truthfully, D&D actually comes with its own set on top of fantasy.
It does. It really does.
D&D is now its own tropeable material.
Yes.
Like the TPK is a D&D trope.
It is.
Like that's not a trope of fantasy. That is something that happened when people started playing D&D. So anyway, so you wind up having to navigate mechanics that you don't understand, a genre you don't understand. And if you're not interested in the genre, as in you're not trying to actively learn these things, then you're like the barrier to enjoyment becomes high, right? So you need to lower that barrier. And so the best way to do that is to find a game that pairs to the genres they like. And again, if you like telenovelas, right, there happens to be, right,
this really fun game called Pasión de las Pasiones by
and it's fun. It's fun because those tropes are in there.
They're in there strongly.
And you get to do those tropes rather than watch those tropes.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
Which is very fun.
We did cover that game on Character Creation Cast for those interested. Fantastic game. Brandon Leon is a wonderful human being and created this beautiful telenovela style, multiple layers of drama game that plays phenomenally.
Yeah, so I think the key thing and the best advice that we can give, and I think this is kind of the advice we always end up giving when we talk about bringing new players from any, any perspective into the hobby, is that the key thing is to latch into what they're actually into.
Yep.
Instead of just being like, you should try playing games. It's fantasy. Let's go. And then they're like, I don't like fantasy.
Yeah, if they wind up getting more into gaming based on however you on ramp them into gaming, then moving into different genres and different games can be interesting, because then what becomes interesting to them is like, oh, turns out like we've played a bunch of these light games, but like, like maybe I want to try a D&D or something, and you don't have to worry about the tropes pulling them in. The game would pull them in, right? That would be the interest that would draw them to it. But what you want in the beginning is low barrier to fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Low energy exerted before fun is returned.
Exactly, right? Exactly.
Yes.
So,
like, you don't introduce a casual board game player to a multi-session war game and expect them to have fun. Or somebody that's never played a board game before. You don't say, hey, this is our first board game together. It's going to take 5 hours to go through the rules. And then we can play. And we'll be here for 12 hours. That sounds torturous. Now, I do play those strategy games as well. And even then, going through the rules, that's not what I'm there for. I'm there to enjoy the company. I'm there to enjoy the snacks when they're snacks. Not as much anymore because I'm still on Weight Watchers. But it's a good time, mainly because I'm there with other people and we're talking about stuff while reading the rules and going through all that stuff. So
some things that just off the top of my head I would recommend. So first of all, I would recommend just going to itch.io and throwing some searches in, because
works for a lot of
somebody out
hobbies.
there is making a game for a genre that I can't think of, that's rules light, that I don't know, right? There's so many of them out there.
There's so very, very many. Like anything that's been published as a zine, is probably going to fit into that category too.
Yeah. And, and you don't need them to last forever. You don't need a 1-year campaign to get started. You need some sessions.
Yeah.
Right. So I would start, that's my first place. I would go to itch and start looking, but also we'll just name some other ones that are just kind of non-conventional topics. Like, so for instance, like things like kids on bikes is a good genre. Like that's one that's like not overly violent. It's not necessarily, it can be sci-fi. But if it is, it's not like playing Traveler. Like you're not putting on vac suits and walking around on, in space or something.
So the problem is now I want to pull away from my microphone to go look at my game shelf because I'm trying to remember the names of some of these, right? But like, so things that I can think of off the top of my head is like,
you said Golden Sky Stories.
I said Golden Sky Stories. Like I'm thinking also of like Obachan Panic, right? Where you play a bunch of like old grandmas and aunts running around doing wild things, kind of like the Goose, I suspect, but maybe with a little bit more direction or purpose. And then the other game I'm thinking of that I cannot remember the name of right now because I'm not going to pull away to look at it is like a little zine game that I have that is a 2-player game that's like an angel and a demon, right? It's a Good Omens style.
Sure. Yep. Like, I know the one you're talking about, right? Like that.
There's like Eye of the High Ground is fantastic if you like the drama but not a lot of rules. Very wonderful selection. Then like all the Kids On series, fantastic. And like even like if you can get past the themes as adults, most kids games are geared towards rules light, and you can make of them kind of whatever you want in most cases. Like the No Thank You Evil. Certainly you don't have to have very kid centric themes if you don't want to. but the rules are easy enough for you to get into and create literally any type of character you want in that sort of environment. Even has some world building built in, and the rules are super simple. So it's also another great avenue for beginners to go down.
I have of games that I can't remember the names off the top of my head. I have a delightful small game that is about a group of people running a queer bar.
Oh, yeah,
Right?
yeah,
That's
right.
like that. Like, so I guess
That sounds great.
I guess the point
they're
is
totally out there. I
Right.
think the indie market is where you are more likely to find games that are a little bit more into that calm, what I would consider slice of life experience kind of thing, than into the action and violence oriented stories where you're going to find more traditionally published work.
And I suspect to some level Paul knows this because they had the Goose Game, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that this is going to be surprise information.
But if Paul's just setting us up to tell people, then
we're going to tell people.
Yeah. So the other thing I will say is that it is sometimes harder to find games that don't center violence.
I think that is actually probably the trickiest.
Yeah, that I think is actually one of the hardest things to find. Now, I know it can't. So I know that you can run a whole campaign without any violence in it because I did. Right?
Yeah.
The Ox game that I made in Cortex, we just didn't make rules for combat, which basically stated to the players that you're not expected to solve any problems with combat.
Right.
Well, it's like even Descent into Midnight, which I mentioned earlier, has penalties if you use violence. They try to mechanically push you in the direction of solving problems without violence. It's there as an option, but you hurt yourself probably more in the game by using violence than if you were to find a more peaceful solution to most of these issues.
Like
combat is a non-option.
Combat is almost a failure of story, right? If we have to resort to combat, something has gone wrong. And so it definitely can be done. You just have to have a game that has some other struggle that is mechanized in some way, either mechanized or occurs in procedure, right? Where that's not straight up violence. And in the case of Ox, it was science and engineering. That game was about, doing crazy super science stuff. And that's how you solved every problem. Was with cool, outrageous super science stuff. And the tension in it was trying to get it to work.
Right. Is it going to work in time to resolve this problem before, people get hurt?
I had made a cool little procedure and set of rules for how to do super sciencey stuff that wasn't just a skill check. And that because of that, there was plenty of tension in the game, but never any violence in the game. And that game ran its full course. It was, I will say, I'm going to ring my own bell here. It was delightful. I was super proud of how that game came out. I was super proud of the players who played it, who really embraced the no violence idea of it. So I'm just saying it definitely can be done. I will also caveat by saying that you may need to find the right system for this. And I will name two systems that I think will play a non-violent game, a game that decenters violence or removes it completely, that would do a good job of it. And they're semi-related to each other, which is Cortex for sure.
Yep. Because, Cortex, and then you build it to not have violence, right?
Build it to not have violence in it. And the other game that I think actually does a decent job of this, because it's not one that centers violence, is Fate.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fate does it. Fate has rules for combat, but
you could play an entire game and never engage that.
you don't.
It's not necessary.
It's not necessary, and yet you can still use the frameworks for the challenge, the chase, and I forget what the other one is, to do interesting things.
Yeah.
And in fact, those World of Fate books from way back, where like those little mini settings, I guarantee you can find
handy.
some that decenter violence. And to that, the other thing I would say about Fate is, one, it's not hard to learn.
Yeah.
Two, it comes in a couple flavors based on how much mechanics you really want to get into, from core, accelerated, etc. Right? Like you can really thin out the thickness of the mechanics.
Yes.
I feel, my personal feeling is it's pretty intuitive to play. It really, the real one piece you have to you just have to learn in Fate, and it's teachable, right, is you need a GM who understands the Fate point economy, that actually treats it as an economy.
Yes.
And two, as a player,
I wanted to get rid of.
Economy.
Yes.
And two, as a player, you just have to learn the power of create advantage.
Yeah. Well, and I actually almost think that the power of create advantage is something that is sometimes harder to teach longtime gamers of other systems.
Yeah.
Because they always feel like they should be taking direct action and not building towards an eventual action, right? Like I think the last time I ran Faint Accelerated at a convention, and it was a bunch of D&D players who ended up stumbling into my table, and they were like, well, we don't know what to do in this scenario. And I was like, have you considered that you could set yourselves up for success in a turn or two? And they were like, oh, because we're very accustomed as long-term players. One of the tropes of many games is that you're always taking an action that has an action or a reaction right now. And so we don't think about that. But yeah, so sometimes I almost think it's easier to teach a new gamer the power of create advantage.
That's really interesting. I haven't played Fate before. I have just covered it, I think, once on Character Creation Cast and heard it played a few times, but keep forgetting about that mechanic and like how powerful it can actually be in a game. Very, very interesting mechanic there.
I have way back in the many years ago when Fate first came out, I used to go to game stores and help. Like I would do these like day of Fate games where I would, just people either new to the hobby or new to Fate, just teach them Fate. Yeah. And I would, the first thing I would encourage them to consider is that once I
Although I just have to add one aside, I cannot think of Fate without thinking of Part-Time Gods of Fate, I think it was. I think that's the one that was the first time I think I heard Senda on the mics. Is a GM showcase from the Block Party Podcast Network that played Part-Time Gods of Fate, I believe.
Once I explained how create advantage worked and the idea that like, hey, if a couple of you put advantages out on the table and somebody sweeps through with a single attack and scoops them up, like
it's you can like you can go like Super Saiyan, right?
Right.
Yeah, you did run that, I believe. Phil's port of a non-Fate game. Absolutely. It was fantastic. It was the thing that made me say, what else is this person doing in podcasting? And that's what got me to Pandas. So that was the progression to get to where we are today, which is really interesting. Let's see. Yeah, you never get to create advantage in character creation. Yep, I agree. We talked about it and never got to see it in action on the show because famously on Character Creation Cast, we do not play the games. We create the characters. We package them very nicely. They look fantastic and lovable, but then we put them in a box and pack them away forever and never play them. That is the blessing and the curse of the show. So, although we did play characters once, by transferring them to another game, and we played them for a charity stream, and it was fine. But outside of that, it was we never play the characters that we create on the show. One of the favorite moments, Rockopolis game saved up to 2+2s until rolling off against the Norse guys and got like a +20. That's wild.
Like I have done that in a Fate game. Like
I was your hype guy.
You were my hype guy.
And a game that did not center violence.
Didn't center violence. It was a battle of the bands.
Oh, there you go.
It was great.
Yes. 100%, right? Fantastic.
Right. So fun. High school drama, battle of the bands, right? So the other thing that I wanted to just call out genre-wise that I think is really important.
You pointed it out. You never mentioned
what your partner might be into is the thing that they may be into is also the style of interpersonal or relationship drama that they like experiencing in their media, because sometimes that type of storyline is transportable from setting to setting, right? Mm-hmm. So sometimes you might be able to say, hey, here's this thing. It's like a step to the left from your normal genre, but it has all of these relationship challenges, elements that I think that you really enjoy based on the other media that you play, right? Or experience. And so like, I just want to call that out, because the other thing is, if you're looking for games that are specifically not necessarily action oriented as in action movies, right? And not violence oriented, one of the easy ways to find games that do that is to find games that focus on relationships between people, right?
Yeah, I actually like that a lot. And again, what you're doing there is you're taking familiar tropes and you're transplanting them into a different genre,
right?
So that there's something familiar there. So, for instance, if you like political thrillers, right? But you're not particularly a fan of sci-fi or fantasy, there are political thrillers in both of those genres.
Yes.
That, there are palace intrigue or galactic politics. Like there's room. And I think that's one of those things when we talk about like fantasy and sci-fi, right? Those in just those terms are too broad.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
There's a default version of each of those that
do they have like a West Wing style U.S. politics thriller RPG out there? Because I'm trying to think of anything remotely like Modern Politics, the RPG, and I'm drawing a blank, and probably for a good reason, because who wants to roleplay any of that? There's people out there that I'm sure that would love to, but that sounds like what's your corruption stat? What can we do from there?
Yeah.
There's a default version of each of those that people default to when you think about it, but the truth is there is enough room, and again, you also have to find the game that fits into that spot that'll get you
or anything.
that same feel. Like, don't yell at me, internet, when I say this, but if I was going to play a deep political drama game, and it was going to be in fantasy, D&D is not my first choice for that.
D&D has very
it
has skills. Like you can, I could do it.
You can do it, but it doesn't have a lot of mechanical options for how you approach political gaming.
I am one. I will just say this, right? So I will state my position on this so that people understand when I say these things. My feeling is that I am less likely to drift or modify a game into a thing I want than I am to go find a game that does the thing I want. Now, if I can't get there, right? If I can't find exactly what I want and I have to go build something, then yes, I will go build something, but I tend to build something with, like in a Cortex and a Fate, something like that.
Right.
So, but I'm not the one, like, I will never be the one who's like, let's run a political drama, but let's just play it in 5e. I'm also the person who groans every time, I see a...
You could probably do a political modern day thriller of sorts in Dungeons and Dragons.
I see a Facebook ad for like, new Cyberpunk game now in 5e, right? Like,
right. And then
like
you just have that moment where you're like, the things that you want to do in fantasy do not necessarily map directly from a mechanical perspective to the things that I want to do in a Cyberpunk game.
And there's, look, I can make arguments for why you do that, right? There's
Sure.
Being able to pull people from other games, ease of learning. If you already learned D&D, which was hard to learn, then picking up the other game is much easier to slide in. Like I don't have any. I don't have a. No, let me change that. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't have a. Like I don't have any.
Like, cut. Professional.
No, let me change
that. This is how the sausage is
slide in. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't like it. Those are two separate things, right? Conceptually, yes. I understand it. I don't like it. It's just like my feeling about certain cheeses. I don't have a thing against cheese, but there are definitely cheeses I don't eat.
Or ways to eat a parfait, if you will. It's got a certain way he wants to eat a parfait. But he's not going to yuck anybody's yum, I don't think. If you happen to enjoy it in a different way.
Don't eat, right? That's how I feel about it. And truthfully, that's how I feel about most.
Is it the texture about the 5e ports that's the problem?
Yeah, the texture of 5e rubs me the wrong way a lot of times. I don't like the mouthfeel of it. Anyway, but that's, I guess I just want to state that, right? Because I don't hate on these things, and I'm far too old now to be having polarizing statements just to clickbait people into being mad at us or something like that. It's just that I have been in this hobby long enough, and I've played enough games that I have some preferences. There are things I like, there are things I don't like. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Getting back to Paul's question.
Sure.
Apparently we are monsters. Senda.
I think we've covered the first one really well, right? I think we talked about, like, look, there's a whole host of places you can find games. There's a whole host of genres that are grossly underrepresented. But if you go digging around in a place like Itch.
Also a monster you could experience in Dungeons and Dragons if you wanted to.
It's somebody's thing.
They're there. You will find them. Yeah. I have found all sorts of games for all sorts of wild things on Itch. And actually, the one that I was the saddest about that I felt like I had to go make my own for is that nobody had made a Locked Tomb that did the part of Locked Tomb that I wanted a Locked Tomb game to do. So I went and had to make some.
A real fucking challenge to making a Locked Tomb game is for somebody to fucking clearly
figure out what the hell
setting.
the genre is.
Somebody explain the setting to me logically.
It's far future meets fantasy meets sci-fi meets necromancer sapphic like tribulations, dealing with a post-apocalypse that also does a whole bunch of other stuff at the same time. What's so hard to understand about that? I haven't gotten through Nona yet, so no spoilers. It's a good series. It really is. Self-plug for mine, for another example, if you enjoy Highlander or the sort of like antagonistic storytelling kinda. And if you enjoy playing with Jenga towers, I created a game called brain, why are you blanking on the name of this fantastic game? Okay, I'm gonna look it up. It's on my itch page, or neptune.itch.io, and it is a very pretentious name called Our Final Gathering: The Dreaded Reflections of the Immortal Soul. It is a combination of dread and reflections mechanics, where you play as the last four Highlanders in the 1980s. They all meet in a warehouse, and the game is told through the flashbacks of each of the characters' interactions with one another through all of history. And you play as various archetypes of like You are my former lover. You are my former brother. You are a best friend of mine. You are the hero of the story. You are the villain of the story. And everybody has prompts to set up their own scenes with other characters. And then as you go through the scenes, you try to do goals in the scenes. And if you get another character to accomplish your goal, you force that person, the player of that character, to pull from the Jenga tower as many times as the goal is hard. So if you choose a 4-tier goal and they accomplish it through the narrative, because you're trying to trick them into doing that, then they have to pull and set 4 blocks from the Jenga tower on top. If the tower falls while they are doing that, your character kills their character in the present timeline and takes their power, because in the Highlander universe, there can only be one. And if you decide that you don't want your if you don't want your character killed by the other character, but you want to give your power to them and kind of bow out of the game, you can knock the tower over and sacrifice your immortality to that character, and they absorb all your immortality and memories, but you get to live as a mortal for the rest of your days instead of being, killed in the current timeline. So there's a lot of like potential drama with the game, but it could also be played very silly. Lovely game. It's on my ish page if people are interested, but like another example of if you have people that love Highlander but love rules light games and love like playing Jenga, you could combine all of those in one game, and there you go. Things like that are all over the place on itch.
Right?
No,
like I know it's in there, but it's fed to you in a way that is like, I don't know. I think I got it. Nope, I don't think I can. I couldn't retain it. You had to read it like 5 times to.
I have got the setting down. The setting is not the issue. The issue is, how do you create a game that genre enforces that style of storytelling when it's massively different every single book, and you just have to. Anyway, we've talked about this before. Like you have to narrow in, but I haven't found a game that did what I wanted it.
You probably know why. It's because the last book is not released yet, and I'm gonna say 99% chance once that book is released and out there, everything is gonna make sense. I'm predicting it right now. That book's gonna come out and everything's just gonna be like, that makes so much sense. Like that's just the author's style, it feels like, of like, hey, remember that thing from the first book that you had no clue about? It's this. And then you're like, that makes so much sense. So now the last book coming out is probably going to just tie everything together and whatever. Hopefully we'll get it sometime soon. I know Senda's been waiting so patiently for all of it. I love that you've been playing cozy games while listening, Caroline. Absolutely.
Did what I wanted it to do.
I honestly don't think it's games. I think truthfully, and then I'll get back on topic here. I think you got to go the way that, God, who was it? Sorry. There's going to be some editing here. The Genesis version of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Handled the idea.
Edge of the Empire, right?
I think truthfully, and then I'll get back on topic here. I think you got to go the way that,
let's tie that up.
That, the Genesis version of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Handled the different flavors of Star Wars brilliantly by just making different books. Right?
Yeah.
They were just
on the Edge of the Empire. They're like, we're not going to get fucky with the parts that were in the movies. You're just over here.
Well, it's like, look, we're not going to try to cram all 3 of these different story types into one book. Instead, here's a book, like, you need to have one that's like, here's the Gideon the Ninth book, right? And it's it plays like a mystery thing, right? And then there's a Harrow book where it's like, yeah, you're just playing like demigods. Right.
Well, I feel like the Harrow one is more like a one-player game where you try to navigate the weird-ass maze of your own mind.
Oh, good. I'm gonna stop this topic right now and segue us to Paul's second point, which was thoughts on crafting duet games with one player and one GM. Look how skillfully I moved us out of that topic.
I know. The problem is I could talk about it for a long-ass time.
I know. I had to get us out of there before it got really bad.
I know.
So actually, we have a lot of thoughts on this. We've actually tackled this. One, raid the past episodes in the through our Patreon.
Okay.
There you go.
But also to give you the kind of Cliff Notes version of this, there's a couple ways to look at this. So one, there are some games out there. Again, check out Itch. But there are a few other games out there that specifically address duet games.
Mm-hmm.
Those are mechanically built to.
Okay, I hate to self-plug all the time here, but we have at least one episode or one series on Character Creation Cast that covers nothing but duet games of various genres. Also a bunch of solo games on other series and stuff. So that wasn't terribly that long. I think even Senda, you joined me for a couple episodes, one series like last year, February or something like that. Fantastic games out there. So yeah, if you're interested in duet games, there are some really good suggestions in that one. Yeah, we did the Immortals letter writing game, which we really have to get back to. Brain is just not braining lately. So once brain's better, Brain will get back to writing letters to you to continue that story.
Those are mechanically built to be duet games, right? There's Pelgrane has one for their Cthulhu Gumshoe game. Knights Black Agents also has a duet version where the designers have specifically tweaked the mechanics, the rules, and more importantly, the character setup for duet play.
See, that's a really interesting way to approach it too, is you have a full game, but then you have special rules for the duet play.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it yourself, right, there are accommodations you need to make because there isn't a party. And again, I know we've gone into some deep dives on this, but I even wrote a supplement for Dungeon World that accomplishes this goal.
Yes.
The legacy,
fun.
The legacy weapon.
Yeah.
The legacy weapon addresses the problem in Dungeon World of what do you do when you don't have a party.
Again, check out the Pandas Talking Games backlog if you want to hear some micro actual plays of this Dungeon World thing in action, because Phil and Senda did play a couple of these. It was more. There was a good handful of sessions, like 10-minute sessions at the end of some of the episodes. I enjoyed it thoroughly, but it was a lot to keep up on, for sure. Like it was a completely different portion format of the show. It was like 10-minute micro AP segments to show off kind of some of the stuff that was talked about in the show. It was brilliant, but I can see how much effort would have been put into that and why that was ultimately dropped from the format. But you know, that's podcasting. You experiment with some things now and then, and sometimes it turns out this is way more work for a hobby than we are willing to do.
Yeah.
By creating an artifact that lets the player access the other moves from the other playbooks, but in an interesting narrative kind of way. And also lets them die.
You die a lot to begin. You got to keep dying for a while before you have enough of those really saved up.
Until you've built a few characters into the weapon kind of thing. It's fun. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting way to approach it. But essentially what you're doing is, and I don't want to do a whole topic on this, but I do want to mention it because Paul asked, is you have to look at, for a particular game, what the party brings.
It's kind of like a creative exercise more than an actual play. It kind of felt like, right? It was like, like the 10-minute AP portion. It's just like, okay, we're gonna throw you into this like scenario that's continuing off the last scenario, but now here's your improv prompt, right? Action. I can imagine that would be a little awkward at times.
Now, if it's an open game where you can build your own characters from, like, say, a point system or whatever, and you can be anything or anyone and have any abilities, then your problem isn't going to be character side. Your problem is going to be opposition side. You just have to make all your opposition smaller.
Smash.
Yeah.
But if you get into a game like D&D, and this isn't a day to pick on D&D, but D&D is going to be the perfect example for this, where you have classes.
Yes.
Where
niches,
class abilities, niches, and things like that.
With the head of Orson's that card.
Then what you're missing,
Smash Pen and Skill Monkey. I think that's what it was.
Access to those niche abilities. Imagine trying to do a dungeon crawl as a cleric without having without having arcane magic, thieves skills, or any of those things. Or imagine being the thief without having any healing, magic, decent fighting ability, those kinds of things. And you can see where the duet play starts to strain in that particular game.
Oh yeah.
And then what you need to do is get crafty about how to solve said problem.
Yes. And maybe that means if you're like, cool,
it's a mechanics
they're playing
issue.
a thief and I'm running a dungeon. Now this dungeon crawl is about sneaking through the dungeon and collecting all the loot, and not necessarily about killing anything along the way, except maybe incidentally, right?
Yeah. Or you might want to Mary Sue them up a little. And by that, I mean, like, hey, we're going to play this game, but we're going to play only one character, but you get to be level 5 and you can pick 3 classes.
Now, games like Masks or a lot of PBTA games, honestly, that are less like mechanical based, like Dungeon World, I would say is PBTA with rules, if that makes sense. Like, you can die, you have hit points and all that sort of stuff that you have to keep track of. But like a full narrative like Masks, where emotions are your am I in the scene or not sort of thing, and death is never on the line unless you want it to be, you can easily convert those into duo games if you wanted to, because the narrative is the narrative. Like, comic books have solo issues all the time, and so the superhero genre is very keen on doing that, unless you're playing Heroes Unlimited, and in that case you're going to die, because Heroes Unlimited is the D&D of superhero games, is what I like to say.
Right. And then you have to adjust the difficulty of the encounters that they're facing, because the other thing about D&D is that when they tell you in the DMG, or they plan something out for you
of what
in something that's pre-written, right? They have an assumption about how many people are there and what skills are covered by those people, right? What niches you've covered. And so you're going to have to tweak that too.
My personal preference for something like this is to go to something like a Fate or a Cortex, where those assumptions aren't baked in.
Yeah.
And you can just kind of cook the rest of the way. If you are into building, I would recommend Cortex, because that system is far less of an actual game and far more of a IKEA.
Toolkit?
It's like 3
Absolutely.
IKEA furniture sets
Feel free to
dumped
bring us
together
with
in
if
a
you want.
box. Like,
Up to you.
You can make lots of things out of this, but you're gonna have to do some work.
Right. You got to take the planks and figure out how you want them to go. Yeah.
Fate is an IKEA bookshelf.
This is why I'm moving my Sunday streams to 12:30, because then I can actually eat food before the stream and not have to like slog through the stream and through the editing while hungry and while my family is getting slowly hungrier. But, food is important. I agree. No, absolutely. Go eat some food. I'm going to be around here for a while longer, Senda, if you wanted to stop by. After I'm done with Pandas, I'm going to get into some world building editing for Starwhal, where the cast and crew are going to be doing world building for, I believe, the next arc after the Space Vegas arc that they're in right now, which will be very interesting. So we'll see kind of what that all turns into. But if you want to join back later, I would love to have you.
Right?
Yes.
Like
It has instructions.
It has instructions, and it's basically going to bookshelf.
I don't see ya.
But
Have
you
an
can,
excellent rest of your
like, you
afternoon,
can,
Senda.
you can do your own thing with it. It's just going to be a little more bookshelfy. Whereas again, like Cortex is literally like you went to the IKEA store and got like the mystery box or something, and you're gonna
from the returns.
I'm gonna make
like
something.
It's just mixed together, and there's 3 different instruction booklets just shoved in there. Yeah,
You'll figure it out yourself. So those I like
absolutely.
those for I would highly
Life
recommend
is
something like a
life.
Fate or a
Enjoy
Cortex for duet games because you have so much control.
I think we should also just add something in here because this is something we haven't really addressed,
Yeah, go
right?
ahead.
Which is, I agree with you if your goal is a campaign, right?
Oh, of course. I mean, I always think campaign.
I know you always think campaign, and I'm over here sitting here thinking I wouldn't do that for a one shot.
I mean, I would do Fate for a one shot.
A Fate, yes.
I would go
wouldn't-
get those cards.
yes.
I would get those cards. I would get Fate Accelerated, and I would do that. I agree with you. I would not build a Cortex game to run a one shot. Like,
Yeah.
No.
I would exactly not do that.
Right. So, so I think there is a conversation to be had here, and I don't know, from what Paul told us, if their partner is into this in like a long-term commitment kind of way, or in a I'd like to do a couple of more like random off and on sessions here or there that we could just pick up, right? So I do think that's also something to consider because a one-on-one game that you're expecting to be kind of like the Untitled Goose Game or like One Honk Before Midnight, right?
I'm
A game like that.
I'm with you. I like that so much that I would simply say that my solution to your thing is Fate Accelerated and those World of Fate books.
Sure.
There's some light settings in there that you could play a handful of sessions. And Fate Accelerated, super easy to make a character and get going.
But also, I think that you are more likely to find, in my experience, because I have gone out there looking for these games, right?
Yep.
So from She's a Super Geek, we played specifically one-shots, and sometimes life was wild, or there was a pandemic going on, and we didn't have the energy to go try to find guests and rile up a whole, game. Andy and I played a ton of one-on-one one-shots. It is far easier to find games that are intended to be played one-on-one, whether that's one player, one GM, or just 2 players that are, GM-less. It is far easier to find games that are duet games that are one-shots. It is... They are out there by droves. I can't even begin to tell you, right? Like how many of them, because I think my knowledge of them is probably a little bit dated because it's been a little while since I've gone looking. But there were a lot, even when Andy and I were doing it, like 5-6 years ago, right?
Yep.
And some of those are going to be, and again, this is, take into account the genre and the tropes that are interesting to the person you're playing with. But, some of those are like letter writing games, which can then be historical, or they can be, whatever. And sometimes it's fun to be like, maybe we should play this somewhat asynchronously, or like, so I just think there's a lot of options out there actually in the duet game market, but I would say that most of them are one shots.
Yeah, I think it's a good approach. It contrasts my more traditional approach. I think mine's a very traditional approach, and I would if you're thinking along the traditional lines, yes. And then like you said, you can find like literally anything else out there if you dig through itch long enough.
Just poking at itch. I mean, you and I have a one-shot duet game, right? I don't even remember what it's called. The dice building one. It's in
Yep. Also don't remember.
Shoot, it's in the same book as Wen's. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Hang on. Let me go.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna go drive through and look it up real quick.
I was like, we've even written one of our own, right?
We definitely did.
And then and this is also, when you talk about like what is interesting to your partner, like or the person that you're trying to get into gaming, is it relationship stuff? Because many relationship games also fall into this duet category as well. So the romance trilogy is all potential duets. There's many more, right? But
if you wanted to be a hamburger, right? Like
if you wanted to be a hamburger, you could play Mark's half-eaten hamburger.
By the way, it's called Love and Resistance.
Thank you. I completely just lost that.
Love and Resistance is the game.
There is a compilation called Love and Resistance. It has a bunch of games like that in there, I believe, including one from us.
Yep.
I think I might have covered a game or two out of that on Character Creation Cast as well, out of the Love and Resistance for a special Valentine's month, February month series. So also worth checking out if you're interested. Another fantastic duet game, a lot more emotionally intense, is a game called Broken, where you play as a couple that is breaking up by the end of the game. And the way the game plays is you have 10 real life artifacts of things that you want broken, literally broken. I would recommend going to like Goodwill and buying a whole bunch of like little interesting looking cheap, things that are breakable. And then part of the game is to use those objects as like this artifact, this thing represents this moment in our lives. Now we're going to play a scene around that moment in our lives and why that moment didn't seem as good as it did when we were in that moment. And then after the scene is done, you literally break the object in real life to symbolize the object completely. Let me grab my artifact. For those that can see the camera at all, this is the remnants of one of the artifacts that myself and my co-host Amelia had left over when we played a game of Broken, and it was phenomenal. We were a magical girl, enemies to lovers, villain heroine couple that was retired, that we eventually were like, okay, well, we're settled down together, this is fantastic. But then all of the like cracks in their relationship were shown throughout the gameplay, and we had broken 10 items, this being one of the last ones. And it was so emotional and cathartic and interesting, and like you have to be so vulnerable in the game. Highly recommended. I'll have to hang that up later. But very cool stuff.
I mean, they call themselves LARPers, but haven't even played Mark's Half-Eaten LARP or Half-Eaten Burger.
You didn't even play test that game.
Certainly did not. That game's ridiculous. Game's absurd. All right. Anyway, with that, I think we've run through our time. Paul, good luck. And of course, because Paul's on Slack, and we're going to talk about this in a moment, Paul, you can also just reach out to us again if you have any further questions. But if any of you have other questions about either of these topics, duet games or games with non-gamers, things like that, drop us a line. We're going to tell you how to do it in just a second. But I think we covered all the basics today.
I think we probably did.
I'm going to tell you that there's a game out there that fits like whatever you're into. You just got to, it just requires a little bit of searching.
Yeah.
Or the willingness to make one from an existing game. I'm not telling you to have to go write your game from scratch, but don't be afraid of Cortex, man. It's a beautiful thing. All right. That said, Senda, I need a blurb. Tell us about another place out. Tell us another place on the Polygamers Network where people can hear awesome content, because I know there's more.
Sure. There sure are. Yeah. On the Gnomecast, you can hear several gnomes from Gnomes 2 getting together to talk about gaming topics and themselves in an effort to entertain you and avoid being thrown in the stew. Sometimes, but not always, related to blog posts that we've recently posted on said stew.
Yes, there we go. How apropos. Senda, where do people find us on the internet?
Yeah, you can find us at Polygamerous/Panda. That is polygamero.us/Panda. And that has all the different places that you can find us. Although due to an interesting recent web thing, I am not sure that the email address that's there is working right now. I keep getting some issues with that. So maybe not email right now. I'm going to work on fixing that. And we will get that updated. But other than that, the rest of those places do in fact work. Once they find a way that they would like to reach out to us, Phil, what can they do with that information?
Yeah. Send us a topic, a question, an idea, a story, anything that you would like us to expound upon. That's really it. Don't worry about it being too broad or too narrow. We are trained professionals. We can take a topic and expand it to be something more broad. If you give us something narrow, or if you give us something really broad, we'll hone in on pieces of it. Or like we did at that,
3 episodes in a row.
Yeah. Sometimes you just get more than one episode. Yeah. You get a bonus.
Yeah,
we just keep going.
Yeah.
So all of those things are available. And you don't need to worry about those. That's our job. That's what we do. Send us some stuff. This show basically runs because you guys send us stuff. I don't know if you're new here and you don't know that, but that's how this runs. We don't make this stuff up ourselves. We get it from you. So thank you for all of your excellent topics and giving us something to talk about each week. If you like what we do here elsewhere on the network, consider supporting our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/MMP, where you will get access to the Slack Room for Life, which unlocks for you another way to contact us. You can contact us through the Slack, just like Paul did. And you can drop right into our DMs. That's permissible in our Slack community. So you can pop in and drop us a note directly, or you can toss it out in one of the many channels within our Slack. And if you toss it out on one of the channels, other people are going to comment. Like, you will get instantaneous advice from our excellent Slack community. And then you won't get anything from us because we'll have scooped it up and been like, nope, we're going to make a show. So
we're not going to talk about it here because we're going to talk about it on the show.
And then at some indeterminate time later, it'll appear as a show.
It's true.
Based on the fact that Paul's original message starts with your return episode means we must have been gone.
Probably sat on this since January, I would guess.
1 to 100 weeks later, your topic will be answered.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Anyway, and also I believe the Patreon gets you access to the nearly obscene backlog of shows that we have done over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
We've been around for a bit.
Although, to be fair, there's some back episodes that are supposed to be live right now that we know there is currently an issue with downloading. So bear with me. We're working on the fix for that.
Yeah, we're fixing that too.
Yeah, working on this is unfortunately not my full-time job. So
but if you're a member of the Slack community, you just get to go right into the archives directly.
Head right into the archives. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Anyway, if you are supporting us via Patreon, thank you very much. We appreciate your support greatly. It takes a little bit to make this a thing that we do week to week, and your support is how exactly we do that. So thank you very much. If you are unable to support us financially, we understand. We ask that there's just a thing you could do with your time that would be super helpful for us, helps spread the word, because we are terrible And I say that
Right.
without any exaggeration, terrible at marketing.
Yeah,
So
we're not
what's
good
that
at it.
thing?
Yeah, you could leave us a rating or review on Apple Podcasts or the podcatcher of your choice. That helps random people find the show. But you could also just tell a friend, right? Just
Huge
tell
help.
someone.
Huge help.
It makes a big difference, and we appreciate it.
Toss it out on your social media would also that's a great
because we're not going to
answer one of those questions when people are like, hey, does anyone know a good podcast? ... Just throw our names in there.
Yeah. Just
If
put
you
it
think
out
they would
there.
like it, don't throw it in there if you don't think they're gonna
Yeah,
like it.
no.
Anyway, cool. All right, great. Hey, Sunda,
Mm-hmm.
when was the last time we played Fate?
Huh.
Show me what you got. Show me
Show
what
me
you
what
got.
you got.
All right, I got to tighten this up. Move that over there. We're going to... 1 second, I have to answer this message quick. There we go. And then let me get this outtake taken out
Show
of
me
here.
what you got. Show me
Show
what
me
you
what
got.
you got. Show me what you got.
Show me what you got.
I honestly ran in.
There we go. We'll get that. Move to the outtakes way at the beginning. And I need to snap to grid. There we go. Outtakes are set. Pop back out here. This is the Bamboo Lounge. This will be the ending. I'm not sure what happened there. That's all right. We'll add a 3-minute gap at the end here to account for the outtakes. And then we will pull in, where's my little folder? The outro music. There we go. And then we will move the ending to right by there where it starts. Put a little marker for outtakes here. And we will go all the way back to the beginning and pull those outtakes in. Which I think I might need a little bit more room because I think that ending music is around a minute, if I remember correctly. We might be okay. Right on the money almost. So I need to actually add another 15 seconds or so for the lounge intro, which I'm going to... Where are you, lounge intro? There we go. Oh, I needed a little bit more than that. Okay. 30 seconds would give me just the right amount of buffer. There we go. All right. What am I missing here? I have home. I am missing my marker for this at the beginning. Start, home. No, come in. Home. And this is the open. Now I've got my little bookmarks, so that way I am able to easily shrink down the audio later. So let's listen to the Bamboo Lounge together.
I honestly ran into a new Fate game the other day, and I was like, man, I haven't run Fate in a long time.
I feel like the last time we played Fate together, the two of us, might have been that Rockalypse game.
That's a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
That's a long time ago.
And it makes me kind of sad because I immediately purchased it because I loved it, and I haven't played it since then.
I played Fate for a long time, then I stopped playing Fate. But then when I went back and looked at it, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot, I love this game. I also have some wickedly nice accessories for that game as well, right?
You do.
I have some, that was the other thing that was like, oh, I pulled my, like, if I was playing some Fate or something, I'd have to take my Fate kit out. And I was like, oh yeah, like I have a nice Fate kit. Like,
I mean, you do, because you were playing it for a long time,
Well,
but we also know you can't roll worth shit on those dice.
I mean, that's the best reason to play Fate with me as the GM is that I roll, those dice are supposed to roll on standard as 0, but for me, consistently roll a -1.
Right. Yeah.
You will be a fucking rock star playing against me in Fate, against me, quote
unquote. Yes.
Let me be your opposition. You'll be awesome.
Yeah.
What else? I had my friend reunion.
Oh yeah, you had your friend reunion. So the reason we didn't have a podcast episode last week is because Phil was on vacation.
If you are a
vacation.
I don't want to say long-time listener, but if you're a moderately long listener to the show, you know that 2 years ago, I went on a high school reunion. My friends and I decided that we didn't need a full high school reunion because we just wanted to hang out with ourselves. So we made our own high school reunion where every 2 years we all gather together back in our hometown where some of us still live, and we get together for a couple days. And one of the events during that day is we play some games. It's not the whole reason we're there. We do a lot of socializing and just kind of catching up and that kind of thing. But for the past 2 years, we have played games, and I have run both of them. At the behest of my friends. 2 years ago, I ran Mutants in the Now because we were huge, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle players. So I ran that.
Yes.
And that was delightful. And then this year, I had a bigger table, and there were like more people coming to the reunion because it kind of picked up, and I needed something that could play a bigger group. So we actually did an X-Crawl funnel.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun because one, X-Crawl makes the DCC guys make good adventures. Like I just used the crawl that's actually in the book. Right. And that was plenty fun. And then to make it more fun, from my game group, Glenn had given me a red stamp that says death on it.
Oh.
And so every time somebody died, they passed me their character sheet,
just like
stamped, because everybody's playing 4 characters, right? So I just stamped out their dead character.
Hilarious.
And it was great. The first roll of the first game of the first roll of the first room killed the first character.
Wow.
It was this spinning platform, and you're like, you have to make a DC 5 agility check to get onto it. And so the player rolled, and he rolled like a 2, and he had no bonus for agility. So he failed the check, and then it did a D3 damage. And I think he only had like 2 hit points, and I did 3 hit points, and that was it. He died.
That's it. Dead.
And so all the players got like their first taste of
like, we're just gonna kill these guys a lot.
Just out the gate.
And truthfully, the kind of the thing about those funnels that are a lot of fun is that you think it's just going to be this endless meat grinder, but the way that the DCC guys make these, like, it starts to work. Like, did they lose about half of the characters? They did. But at the same time, the ones that didn't die,
like, you start getting attached to.
Everybody started getting into those characters. And so it was a lot of fun. We played the whole thing over 2 days.
Sounds interesting.
We played most of it the first day, and then we just finished up the last encounter on the last day of our reunion. But totally fun. I knew it was. I was not worried that the game was going to be fun because X-Crawl is a lot of fun. And but once again, it was just so much fun to play with my friends. My high school friends don't all play at the same frequency I do. Yeah. So for some of them, they hadn't played in a long time. Some of them haven't played in a few months. So for me, it was like easy to be like, oh no, I'll run it because I'm always running something. Like it
Right.
was easy
It's
for me to
not a
jump in.
Heavy lift for you.
Yeah, like some of my other friends wanted to run stuff, and like if you haven't run in a while, or you're not used to prepping, like finding time in your week to prep and stuff, it's difficult, right?
Yeah.
For me, it was like, oh no, I'm gonna prep this game this week and not the other game that I normally prep, kind of thing. And so, it was again totally fun, and I think I'm talking to some of them now, and we're talking about doing like a once a month game. I just have to set some careful boundaries as not to overextend my time. That it really just, I need to pick a game that's going to be low to no prep kind of thing, because I have the time in a month to GM a game.
Yes.
I don't have the time in a month to necessarily prep a full game kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure yet how that's going to go. I'm just kind of starting to talk to people, like who would be available, who would be interested, what genres do people think are interesting, and then I'll go search around and see what I can find.
Yeah.
So anyway,
well, a bunch of my games got canceled because of various life things for folks, which is fine. Like life is going to happen, and it is a thing.
It's always kind of a bummer when it happens.
It is kind of a bummer. Did
you guys get to hang out, or did you just was it like a full cancel?
No, it was a full cancel because it was the norovirus invaded my house.
Never mind. Look, that's sad. But
there's
there's
nothing
like a
you can do about
reason,
it. And then my other game group, we need to figure out a new schedule because the person who hosts their work schedule was going to change. And so a bunch of things have changed around scheduling wise, and we haven't pinned down when we're going to make that new schedule happen. So that one's been kind of up in the air / canceled for the last month or so. So the good news is that on Monday, we're going to have the makeup game for my Rapscallion game.
The norovirus game.
Yeah, the norovirus game. So what's going to happen is we're going to actually get to play 2 rounds of that game very quickly back to back. So we're going to play on the 27th, and then we're going to play on the 5th, which is our normal game day. So we usually play the first Tuesdays. So we're going to get to play them pretty close together, and it's going to be pretty cool.
That's
but
awesome.
I'm really excited to see everybody and hang out with them. I have not gotten all my social friend good time this month at all, which is very sad. Anyway, and then you were out of town, so I read a lot of books. I mean, I think the last time we talked, I'd finished, I was in the middle of it, just finished reading Tress of the Emerald Sea, and now, so for book club this month, for Sci-Fi Fantasy Book Club, we read Howl's Moving Castle, so I read that, and then for Romance Book Club that's coming up this coming Tuesday, which will be the day before you hear this episode, I read something called Bonded by Thorns. It was fine. I'm not going to go into it. It wasn't, I wanted it to be more what I wanted, and it was not nearly enough bondage and not nearly enough thorns. There were a lot of thorns. There wasn't any bondage. Disappoint. I'm sorry, wasn't it? It was a why choose that didn't why choose? It was a why choose that ended on a cliffhanger. So she hasn't actually had sex with any of them yet. 400 pages. Apparently there's going to be 8 books. Whoa. I was like, I don't think I'm 8 books in on this. That reminds me of the guy at Gen Con who ran the Starship Troopers game, and one of my friends went and played it and sat down at the table, and the guy's like, this is the first adventure in a 10-year series of sessions that I'm going to run for this at Gen Con. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know if you're going to, right? Like 10 years is like I don't know.
So much can happen.
Yeah. Anyway, so, the first 5 are apparently already out. They must have had them written already and ready to go, because they've all released since, I think, if not all in 2026, then since November of 2025.
That's
5
wild.
books. Holy cow. Anyway, so that aside, also for Romance Book Club, we decided to read Cinder House by Freya Marsky. This is my second time reading it. I fucking adore that book. It is beautiful. It is the most imaginative retelling of Cinderella I have ever experienced. Has a delightful triad in it. And Freya Marske writes great stuff. It is one of the Hugo nominations for novella this year, which gets me into my next book that I read. Because the novellas nomination list for the Hugos this year is like fire. It is on fire. There was like everything on this list has been on my TBR or I've already read it, right? So I've read 4 of the novellas. I just finished the most recent one that I've read, which was The Summer War by Naomi Novik. Naomi Novik is really good at writing modern books that feel like old fairy tales, and they're really beautiful, and this is one of them. And it was also a story about queer happiness, and that I really liked it. It was really cute, and I really liked it. And yeah, so I haven't quite decided what I'm going to read next, although I did just check out a book from the library yesterday as I thumbed my nose at the stacks of TBR in my bedroom and was like, why don't I pick up this book that I don't even own yet?
Hey, collecting books and reading books are 2 separate hobbies. And for the rest of you, collecting role-playing games and playing role-playing games are two separate hobbies.
Anyway,
Do not shame yourself. Do not shame yourself for one over the other.
It isn't one of, I don't remember if it came out before or after Hell's Heart, but it is one of Alexis Hall's newest books, and it is much more just a standard romance, but I don't really care. I don't give 2 shits. I love Alexis Hall's writing, and I want to read everything that they write, so I've just grabbed it. So I'll probably
all right.
do that
I
next.
think we've given Ryan enough material to edit, right?
Probably. Like, there's my info dump on books I read since we last talked.
Which is a
4 of them.
ever-evolving discussion. But anyway, we should probably get moving.
Probably.
What do you say? All right.
It's nap time. Actually, it's lunchtime.
There we go. Thanks, everyone, for listening. You're awesome. We love you. Oh, we're not recording next week. We're going to have to post that out
damn.
somewhere else as well. But we've got a AP to record with some friends, and we will not be available to record that day because we're recording the AP. And so, yeah, there'll be no episode. Okay.
I forgot about that.
Yep.
Oopsies.
Okay. Anyway, thank you for listening, and we'll catch up with you in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay, say bye.
Bye.
Bye, and
Stop. Wonderful. Okay, so that is Panda's Talking Games. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick little export and cleanup of both of these. It shouldn't take too terribly long. So all I need to do is set it up for the Bamboo Lounge and change the directory we are exporting to. So that one only takes just a few seconds. Not terribly bad, thankfully. And then the actual episode can take upwards of a minute, but usually less than as well. This one's a little easier to name and just get rid of the mix down that Audition loves to put on it for whatever reason. And then export. It's not too bad. Taking a look at my Social Bridge stuff. My Twitch live counter for how many people are in the actual Twitch room feels accurate. TikTok, not so much. I think it's doing a running counter of any time anybody joins the chat room, and then it just keeps going up. Instead of like, hey, this is how many people are actually in the chat room right now. Because there are 100% chance of not having 68 people in here right now on TikTok. I can tell you that much. We do have one fantastic listener with us over on the TikTok for sure. But that number should be closer to 1 or 2 at this point. We will have to figure out what's going on there. I'm pretty sure I might be kind of compounding things and like adding to a number or something, or the number that I'm getting from TikTok's like back end thing through the TikTok Live Python library might be reporting total users that came in instead of like how many are there right now. So I might have fixed that before, but then I accidentally I checked in my code to GitHub, and then I created a merge to put my code into development. And once that merge succeeded, I went and created a new branch locally like a fool, and created a branch off of the old version of development before the merge, 28 days prior. Didn't realize that until I did some work and fixed some things. And then I said, uh-oh, where's all this other stuff that I had done previously? Well, thank goodness I can revert to getting back to that, which I did. So like this whole tab was missing completely, like 100% gone. My dashboard was only showing the top live thing and then maybe the channels thing down here. Like it was, oh my gosh. I started panicking and I'm like, okay, I can't undo this because I accidentally was like, okay, take the stuff that I just made from my branch and push it onto the old branch that I still had locally. Don't commit it yet. Don't push it to GitHub yet. Just kind of put the branches together. Let's see what happens. And then it made it worse. And I'm like, okay, I've learned my lesson. I haven't done too terribly many updates since the merge. It was only like half a day's worth of work. So I unmerged it, figured out where I had left off, tried to rebuild some of it, and some of the things that I had fixed did not get fixed, unfortunately. However, it is working well-ish right now, so I'm not too hurt over it. Like some of the weird things is when I come back to this page, it multiplies the events and stuff on my system log over here when it tries to recreate the system log off of what events had happened. This seems fine, at least. The chat seems fine. So I'm like, okay, whatever. It's fine. I'll figure it out eventually. But it was a very good, like all these numbers over here, chats received. 29 on TikTok seems relatively around where we would be. I can see on my TikTok interface that Caroline, you have 28 chat messages this session. I sent a message this session to test out my chat thing here, so that's accurate. But Twitch 472, 100% not accurate. I don't know where that number's coming from, and now I have to track that down and fix it. However, I can go to my past streams and I can see charts of the right side is number of messages received on any given stream. The pink line is my TikTok numbers. The purple line is my Twitch numbers for chats received. And then the bar graphs are viewers and average viewers and peak viewers for the two different no, I think just for Twitch. Because I think the TikTok viewership is not easy to do, as we can see from my overlay. Once I get that fixed, then I can have that in the mix as well. But I can sort it by day or by stream type, like my talk shows and podcasts or Crimson Desert. Oh no, it didn't work. Oh no, I broke it. What did I do? I go back, and it's broken. I tried to do too much, and it didn't like me doing too much, so apparently that's another thing I'll have to fix. Either way, I think it's neat. So I am going to switch gears a little bit. Okay, I did just all over the place. Come on, brain. Back into gear. We have the Bamboo Lounge. Really easy. All I need to do is highlight the stuff past the line hit diagnostics to detect the silent regions, and then I shorten all of them, and anything that's greater than 0.6 seconds gets shortened down to 0.6 seconds, which feels like a very natural, like, breathing space between people talking when there's an actual gap in the conversation. So I do that very easily. On the actual episode, this is why I have the bookends. Once I get over there, I can go into these little bitty things, little bitty spaces, in betweens, highlight them, and do the same thing. And it only affects those little spaces down there. This big part is the one that takes the longest. It's not too terribly bad, especially with pandas, so I'm not terribly worried. I only do this on the talk show type podcasts because the actual plays, I want to have a more like fine-tuned approach to the pauses. I want the pauses to be there with purpose. So I handcraft all of the silent sections on my actual plays. So that way, if I need like a 1.5 second pause for dramatic purposes, I can certainly do that. And I have done that in the past. Having just like a background clock ticking for a few ticks when nobody's speaking, just to add a dramatic pause. Lovely, lovely use of background sound there. Okay, so now that those are all set, I'm going to go drag them into the batch process, and we're going to save them as MP3 files, and then I can just send them off to the Panda's little repository that I have going on here. So I'm just going to get that up here. Once these are saved, I can open them up and pull them in, and then Pandas is done for the week. I'm very happy about that. One less thing to worry about for the rest of the week, which is exactly why I do this stream on Sundays, so I don't have to worry about it as much. Okay, Pandas, you are done. I'm going to remove your episodes. Let's see. Remove those. Non-gamer. I think probably the lounge stuff at the top as well. The intro, Panda, Polygamerous, gone. Perfect. I am just checking out where Skyjack's editing was. Okay, I'll get back to that later. We're going to head on over to Starwhal. Whoops, don't want to do that. I have the beginning of the world building here. I'll get to the outtake section later because there might be some info in there that I do not want publicly pushed out into the internet. So I'm going to do that. Let me just hop over to the Discords and pop in. Going to live edit some world building. If I could spell. For Starwhal. I Twitch right now if folks are interested. Twitch.tv/Lord Neptune RB. Fantastic. All right, let's see what the Starwhal crew is going to be coming up with. I have no idea what to expect here. This was a world building session that happened after a multi-month hiatus from being able to play together. So I don't know if this is going to be the end of the arc, if this is doing NPCs and stuff, but we'll see what James has to set us up. And I'm very curious.
We're
here in the studio because we're going to do some world building today, some discussion of characters as we move forward to what is essentially, oh my God, what is essentially the next arc of Starwhal. Like we're staying in the same location now. We're still on Lost Cerberus, but we have to do this Bachelorette, which is essentially just a completely separate story that will be
I do need to get rid of more ums and uhs in this
separate story that will be more focused around Ty and Petey. And there are a couple details that I wanted to square away. So the first thing that I think we should cover, because this is when the baby is most distracted.
Yes.
We got to talk about Ty's parents.
Yep.
Let's talk about Ty's parents because Ty has to call his dad.
Oh, that's right.
Ty's got to call his dad. And Ty has been terrified of this, but I have also been terrified of this because I have no idea what Ty's parents are going to be like. I know this is going to be an awkward call. It might be an emotional call in some ways. Like we have established that Ty has not been or contacted home in a very long time.
Right.
So we need to figure that out. But like, I'm so open, and Hun, I figured you would have some opinions about this for this challenging scene.
I think,
Oh, come on. Oh, somebody's got
one of the
sore
things
throat.
about Ty, one of the things about being millennial is that we often build things up in our head way too much, and then we do it, and then there's relief. You know? And I kind of think this is one of those situations where he's built up this expectation in his head about how it's going to go, and he's probably had this conversation many times, and it's probably gone bad all of the times. What are you doing? Oh, that's smart.
They have a child in the background.
Cover the expensive things.
So it's gone bad.
So we got to get rid of all that background.
So it's gone bad in his head?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm sure it's gone good ways before, so there's hope there, but also Ty's been away from home for so long that the dissonance could really get into his thoughts.
I think that raises the question of what do you think the dissonance is? Like, what is the problem between Ty and Ty's father?
Did they separate on bad terms when Ty left home, or is it just that there's been such a gap in communication that Ty is afraid of what it might have turned into?
I think the last time they talked, his dad was so proud of him for being part of the Gilded Meridian.
Ooh.
And they haven't talked since that split happened.
Like,
okay, so he hasn't
you
been
achieved something, and
so your parents know that you're a vibe keeper. They've never seen you as a vibe keeper, but they know you're a vibe keeper.
I guess I don't.
So if they've
because if I'm part of the Gilded Meridian, I mean, they must know I'm a guild.
I am just finding out here that I might not be done with the last session. I might have something completely different that I need to actually get into before I get into this one. Let me just take 1 second here to reorganize my notes. Pop that in there. Let me check session 17, because we might actually get into some actual play. Where are you, session 17 of Starwhal Odyssey? There you are. Hello. Because it says there might be 3 episodes worth of stuff left in this session, and I thought I was finished with the session, but I might be actually thinking about Skyjacks. Yeah, there's a lot left. How much is left here? 2 hours and 16 minutes, which is, yeah, it's about 3 episodes worth, about 40 minutes an episode. I think we can stretch that out there. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch back to this, because this is the one I need to do, the world building one. Not so much. It's going to be a little bit later when that one actually releases on the Patreon. But this will be actually the next Patreon episode. I was wondering why. I was like, we didn't really get to talking about this other stuff anytime recently. I thought we were in the middle of adventures with PD and Tag and Sack and all that sort of stuff. And we were. So let's get back to that and kind of see where that is starting. So this is going to be for episode 55. Let's see. Oh, I hit the weird button again that makes everything bigger. 1 second. There we go. // not control slash or shift slash. This is episode 55 start. And I need to come over here. Audio is already cleaned up. I am going to, in progress, the dialogue edit so I can get paid for this work as well. That is all set. Perfect. There we go. All right, here we go. Diving into Starwhal. We're in Los Cerberus. This was just after a giant war broke out that PD had started in the convention hall. And then at the end of last episode, PD and Call of Duty hooked up with one another in a very dreamlike Potomy-esque sequence, which was fantastic. I really enjoyed doing the design for that sequence. And this, I believe, is the morning after that they are going to be going to the actual Beesies. So we'll see kind of where we pick up from here.
I just got the best response to the dumb tweet that I made earlier.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, my God.
Somebody had tweeted, hey, what's the best fake song? Like a song that exists in the world of a show or movie,
like
but not
right
in
here.
our world. And I said, canonically, it's the song from Tribute.
Yeah.
And somebody responded to that. In One Direction's best song ever, they danced all night to the best song ever with a woman named Georgia Rose, known for stealing hearts. So we can conclude, therefore, that Georgia Rose is the devil and played the members of One Direction the song that she had heard when she was defeated by Tenacious D.
What?
Oh, that's pretty good.
I'm obsessed.
It's so, like, I am here for the cross-universe canon of that.
I do really like that. I do feel really indignant that the actual answer is Through the Trees by Low Shoulder from Jennifer's Body. I think that song is a fucking killer song. It's the song that the band uses to bewitch the crowd and start the fire that like enters into communications with the devil so that they can strike a deal up, and then they sacrifice Jennifer and get their Maroon 5 status. And the song plays throughout the movie. First, we hear it like kind of like raw and unfinished as they're playing it live in this dive bar. And then like each time you hear it, it gets more and more well produced and like more and more like studio.
Get the little ums and ahs out of here.
Studio quality as the movie goes on and they get their fame and their anyway, I'm normal about that movie. It's fine.
That's Jennifer's Body, you said?
Jennifer's Body.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen it. I've only seen GIFs from it.
Do you want to watch it together? Do you want, I know that we've never hung out, but do you want to watch?
Yeah, because you know who's not going to watch that movie? This guy right here.
I'll watch Jennifer's Body any fucking day of the week.
Amazing. I have a feeling that's 2 outtakes right there, I think. Let me figure out where that goes.
Their
Maroon 5 status. And the song plays throughout the movie. First we hear it like kind of like raw and unfinished as they're playing it live in this dive bar. And then like each time you hear it, it gets more and more well produced and like more and more like studio quality as the movie goes on and they get their fame and they're I'm normal about that movie. It's fine. That's Jennifer.
Okay, I think if I cut that there, this is the first episode's outtake. Outtake for 55. And then I can just cut out the outtake here for 56. Because then I can keep the outtakes relatively short. I'll just put it back over here a little bit, out of the way. Outtake for 56. Perfect. I don't think I have any other outtakes laying around in here, do I? Oh, I do have it in a 55 outtake. What does this one sound like?
Close up magic!
Fuck you.
Wait, let's get it for Ryan. Let's get a clean take of whatever tags is.
Because I was all right. I just want to say that I was gonna say close up magic, but I just like was hit with the like horrifying realization that like the last 3 characters I've played
Okay, this one has to be
on
55.
anything have had close up magic as a major.
Dylan, I don't know if you know this, but close up magic is like a meme within the legacy of the One Shot podcast. It has been a joke for like
Years.
so many
years.
characters.
Well,
The dessert
I
of
love
magic.
to tell
the
you
dessert
that
of magic.
I love to tell you that I am unintentionally carrying on that legacy, and I
Oh, so
love
good.
it. So yeah, I do think it's close up magic.
Dylan, can we get a clean take of you as tag saying close up
Yeah.
magic?
So that
Yeah.
Ryan can.
We'll just somebody count us in.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, and that's what made it into the actual episode, is them in sync in close-up magic. Very delightful. So I think I need to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot this back here, and we're going to add 3 minutes, give or take. And that's a little too much. And we need to grab the intro bumpers of the episodes with the music. Get some Starwhal.
Close up magic!
Oh, that was a little jump the gun there. That works. And then here we're going to pull over that and bring this back out. Perfect.
3, 2, 1.
That works out very nicely. Okay. And then I got to pull in, I'm going to assume that this is going to be the beginning of 55. Let's just find out.
All right. I think we're ready.
Ready to jump back
I
in?
think we're ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
The camera opens up on.
Perfect. So start. Get this over here.
The camera opens up on the red carpet of the Beelzebub Award.
All right. We're on a red carpet. Red carpet ambiance. All right.
It is awash with celebrities from the dimensions of hell, from celestial streamers, from everyone in the multiverse is here. And that is associated with streaming, as it were. There's thousands of imps here that are just like in the crowd, demonlings and people of all shapes and sizes here to watch and get a glimpse, even just the faintest glimpse, at someone that they've listened to 300 hours of.
And we're in the Los Cerberus sphere, which is a theater that has like 360 degree seating. So like they're
The sphere.
looking down 60 degree seating. So like there are
Terrifying.
people looking down at
Don't
the
like
stage.
that at all.
Yikes.
Yeah,
Good.
I hate
Gosh,
it. I hate
yeah, I
everything
hate that.
about that.
Reminds me of the first time I saw an IMAX as a kid, just being really freaking weirded out by the scape and
scale of it.
Ooh.
That's how the devil sees us through the IMAX.
We cut
Theater.
to two devils with a
cut. This would be an FX. Cut to sound. Whoosh.
with a mountain of cocaine between them. Bro, you've heard of theater in the round. Theater in the sphere. We bring it to the next dimension, bro.
Our ideas are so original.
Our ideas are so original and good.
That's a parallel to something that just happened, and I hate it.
So we.
Oh, it's so good. Okay, then we got a flashback here. I just need to clean that up a little. There we go. And then we'll flashback here.
So we see everyone arriving on the red carpet. Tag, tell me, how do you arrive?
I am.
We are really cleaning up the Starwhal edit at this point.
Brought in. I have my stretch limo, obviously, that drops me off. And I think it's like the entire limo ride here, I've had to placate Daddy, you know, like I've had to.
Dylan.
Okay. For some context, there was a scene in an earlier episode where Dylan's character Tag is a streamer. So they have a patron. In the traditional streamers of this universe, they have a patron, a single like deific like level patron that gives them their magical abilities and the ability to stream to the universe, effectively the multiverse. And Tag, Dylan made the wonderful choice of calling her devilish patron Daddy, and all of the connotations around that word in a non-familial sense. So brace yourself.
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
Yes.
It's so funny.
I hate it so much.
I've had to be like, no, I met some people and like, not like that. Like it was just networking and you know the business. I was just schmoozing and getting views and getting people that are going to be new subscribers. It's going to be great. We're growing bigger than ever. Okay. All right. Red carpet. Wish me luck. Come on. Wish me luck.
Tag. No cap.
I forgot about Drew's choice that this patron speaks in Gen Z.
You're on the level?
I'm so on the level. Daddy, I am on every level.
Bet. You're the goat, Tag. The goat. And he opens the door.
Oh my god. Door opening. Okay. And I gotta come back here. We are in a car. Ambiance. Car interior. Oh.
Gonna win this for you.
I know.
And Tag will step out onto the red carpet. Tag is wearing
What is Tag wearing?
Do you know those like those really beautiful, like kind of sexy celebrity outfits where like it's all diamond or all rhinestone, like, and it's like there's like no fabric involved whatsoever. It's just that. It's like that, but just LED lights.
Oh no.
So it's just like LED lights in
just gamer lights.
In like kind of like a one strap like across the chest and like across like wrapped around the legs to like almost like he's wearing like a glowing LED bikini.
Wow.
I think is the vibe that there is here, with like another strap around as like a choker, and then like a cape, like a little capelet.
Good. Yep. Gotta have a cape to complete this look.
Like a little capelet that is adorned with like a different color blinking light. So I think it's like LED lights in like a blue hue and then like purple on the cape.
Wow.
And that's what Tag is wearing.
Wow.
Tag, you are immediately met with the whine and clicks of paparazzi bugs.
Oh no. The paparazzi bugs. The paparazzi bugs take pictures by straining themselves psychically to imprint the psychic pictures onto physical plates. And I'm sure we'll hear it. Clicking of bug people. Ooh.
Whine and clicks of paparazzi bugs. Hundreds of them as they swarm around. We hear the beep, 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 and the as the clicks, click, as things take pictures of you as you step on out. Everyone's like, "Who are you wearing?" and like, Tag, sign this, Tag.
I of course put on a smile and yeah, of course, so psyched to be here. I'm gonna win this thing. And like signs a few random autographs and
a little bit of precision.
Tries to slip by without too much of a crowd, striking a pose every time a paparazzi click goes off, and then moving and meandering back on his way.
It's just a crowd of bug people going,
and then yeah, Tag.
You have to picture the bug people really straining every time they take a picture.
Tell me, now that you know, what does all this feel like?
This part of it has always felt like a little bit overwhelming, and now it feels like I just gotta get through it. And there's like even like a sort of like rapid thinking that's going through Tag's mind of like, okay, just gotta get through this. Gotta get in there, and then we'll win the award, and then Daddy'll like get off our backs for like at least 6 months, and we can get to work on this new plan, the dragon plan, and like is like totally
a little bit of an edit here.
And like is like totally not in this moment the way that he normally is. He's like, we got to get through this and get to the next thing so that we can get to the next thing.
I love that. And we see Tag move on to the red carpet. The red carpet is full of celebrities. A lot of the patrons are here, both celestial and infernal and everything in between. There's also a bunch of adventuring parties here that are like showing up for it. And as we like see everyone kind of mingling about, taking pictures, getting interviewed, we see Sack and Petey roll up in what did you guys get?
So the moment we are, and I am going to spend a point of wealth for this.
Beautiful.
Ooh.
We roll up in a limousine.
Nice.
This limousine has a LCD display like wrap.
A wrap on the LCD.
So the entire thing is like this light show that like flashes are coming from the limousine kind of back at the cameras that are taking pictures as the limousine door opens.
Well, FX door opening.
I think the first thing we see is Petronilla's foot like step out of the limousine, because I think Petey is like bodyguard style going to emerge first. And as like Petey is kind of like slow motion stepping out of the limousine, we cut back to the makeover montage that Sack and Petey went through to get their outfits for the evening. Back to
Got a little bit of a flashback here. Makeover montage that Sack and Petey went through to get their outfits for the evening. And I'm going to let you know right now, I have a list of the outfits that Petronilla talked me out of. So for the part of the montage where people are shaking their heads, no, try again, that's what I've got figured out. I don't know what Sack's real outfit is. We will reveal that after we reveal Petey's outfit. But like to start, like what is Petey's process as they have to look nice for an award that they are potentially accepting?
It's Petey did not want to be too fancy for this. But I think there's a twist in the montage where she kind of gets into it with Sack.
Okay.
And so I think that whatever her base outfit is, as she steps out of the vehicle, there is a hologram of a ball gown overlay over the top of it.
Okay.
That like at certain angles, if there's too much light, it kind of gets washed out and you can't really see it. But then she moves and it catches and you can see this invisible, non-existent holographic fabric swish and sway.
It does a skip frame animation beat. That's what it is. So like it is moving like something from Into the Spider-Verse, but on a real person.
Yes.
So it is this gorgeous cascading bit of light.
Yes.
What color is it?
So the light of the gown hologram is like this, like celestial pale blue. But I think the suit, because I do think she has like a tuxedo on, like at the same time. The physical fabric that she's wearing is like black with like, what color is Sack like as a dragonling?
Sack is a gray, like a dark gray.
Okay, so then the fabric is like a black with like a charcoal shift to the sheen to it.
Yes.
That like charcoal with almost a hint of like deep blood red in there. But like then this ball gown. So Petey's like presenting both genders at the same or two presentations at the same time, but it's also ephemeral, but it's also physical, like it's crossing all these boundaries.
Gorgeous. We cut back in the montage where Petey
I really want to see some fan art of that. Absolutely. That's amazing.
Is I think not the point before PD gets into it, where PD is like maybe uncomfortable or bored looking.
Yes.
Sack emerges from the changing room and he looks like he's from Kingdom Hearts. He's got big shoes and like Square Enix style asymmetric shorts and like a.
Okay. We're back in the flashback, I think, again.
Or bored looking.
Yes.
Sack, not the point before PD gets into it.
Okay. Flashback to outfits.
Where PD's it's like maybe uncomfortable or bored looking.
Yes.
I can get rid of this one though.
Sack emerges from the changing room and he looks like he's from Kingdom Hearts. He's got big shoes and like Square Enix style asymmetric shorts and like a big, his katana looks like a big dumb key. He comes out like the, huh?
Phoebe shakes her head. Absolutely not.
So the next time he emerges, he's got a blue military style outfit and big gloves and he has a hug.
Let's see. And
he has a Huggy Boy on his head. He's basically dressed up like Roy from Full Metal Alchemist. He comes out, the gloves don't fit his hands. He comes out, the gloves don't fit his hands. They look like way too big. He's just like, huh?
He crosses her arms and shakes her head.
We cut back to the limousine situation as like Petey has like cleared some space in front of the limo and he has like cleared some space in front of the limo and we can like see in the shadows of the limo, the darkness of the limo, like we can see Sack's eyes like open up and that like hellfire glimmer, the RG like
a lot of little surgical edits in here.
That like hellfire glimmer, the RGB gamer fire glimmer emerge from within as we cut back to glimmer, the RGB gamer fire glimmer
there it is,
emerge from within as we cut back to Sack.
This is going to be an interesting edit for sure with all these cuts.
Sack coming out with a
I have an idea for it at least though.
Spiky Huggy Boy and an oversized gun and an oversized gun and a big red jacket that he like kind of waddles out in as that he.
Whoops. There we go. Sometimes you cut out a little too much all at once.
That he like kind of waddles out in as he looks like Vash the Stampede from Trigun.
Wow.
Speedy shakes her head. Speedy shakes her head and puts her face in her hands. Like he's never gonna figure it out. Like
we then cut back to the present where slow motion we can see the sheath of his katana emerging from the limousine first as he's like carrying it over one shoulder as his like eyes are kind of bouncing in the darkness. He's beginning to emerge. We cut.
Oh my goodness. James, you're killing me.
We cut back to
past
the last rejection where he emerges in an oddly complimentary orange tuxedo. It's like a dusty orange. It has like kind of dark blue highlights on it. He is wearing a Huggy Boy. It's kind of like a black Huggy Boy, but like it does look like weirdly complimentary. Like this is probably not it, but it's close. It's way closer than anything he's had thus far. As he emerges, he like strikes a little bit of a pose.
Okay. I have to figure out where this cut was again, because he's cutting so many times.
He is wearing a Huggy Boy. It's kind of like
a black Huggy Boy, but like it does look like weirdly complimentary. Like this is probably not it, but it's close. It's way closer than anything he's had thus far. As he emerges, he like strikes a little bit of a pose. Yeah, Petey kind of
cocks her head to one side and then the other, and kind of like makes like a maybe kind of little.
He holds up a finger, and then he like strikes a like squatting power pose, and the tuxedo breaks off, and it's just like a shimmering Goku outfit, and the Huggy Boy stands up and turns yellow.
Wow.
and Petey's kind of sort of hand gesture immediately falls, and she shakes her head. Absolutely not.
And so then we see the sack emerge from
back to this is the present now. A lot to keep track of right here.
Emerge from the limousine. And here's where I need some help, folks. I do think it's a tuxedo. I do think it's a tuxedo that looks like a gaming PC, just a little bit. Got that Hellfire inspiration, but I don't have the full detail, because like Sack was somehow pulled back and moved in a classier than you would expect from him direction.
So, you know how in Sonic the Hedgehog movie, the new one?
Go on.
You know how they cast Jim Carrey as Dr. Eggman.
As if I don't know everyone they've cast in that movie.
But so obviously
Dylan has activated James's trap card.
But so obviously he is not the shape of the original video game Eggman, Dr. Robotnik. So
Sure.
What they did was, when he opens up his suit jacket, the outline of Dr. Robotnik, the original shape of him, is there.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm picturing is that like the inside lining of your tuxedo looks like a gamer chair. Like it has like the the shape of it in there.
Yeah, I like that. It's like hints of gamer chair.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to say like it's a... I'm going to say like it's a gunmetal like dark gray that kind of complements my like it's a shade lighter than the darkest patch of his skin and darker than the white patches on him. I think the cufflinks have like an opalescent like RGB gamer flare to them. I think it is a lined jacket, and the line is like these rainbow lights that are moving. That are moving. He like gets out. I think because it is Sack, we can't fully get away with with it. There are some things he's going to insist on. Clacking on the ground are these patent leather Tabi like wooden Tabi shoes. So he's got they're like black patent leather, but they are just the wooden anime shoe for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
But there are like silver highlights on it, so it does kind of look good with this ensemble. And like I think that there's just a lot of dark colors and blacks, and he'll emerge and then flip his sword around.
FX sword flipping
around and like kind of pulls it off, like stumbles maybe a little bit to where the sword has fallen out, and he'll stand up, the sword falls back in, and that initiates his transformation sequence.
I love a good transformation sequence. Okay, so now that makes me wonder what I need to do, because this transformation sequence comes with a musical montage as well.
Sequence where like the fire fully encompasses him, and like it lights up the sequins that are on his tuxedo.
FX sequin light up sequence. Sure, we'll see what that means.
Tuxedo, and he strikes a pose with like Petey kind of in front of him, like keeping people back. And I do think part of it is it's this great entrance, but it is immediately preempted by a much bigger streamer, like who pops up after he's taken way too long to emerge from this limousine, as basically he was like going slow motion in real life. So, you know, there are like one or two pictures taken of him, but like they're the least flattering moments, and then the like Mr. Beast is behind him.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's actually a giant like behemoth beast that comes out of a like floating diamond. This beast comes.
The beast.
This beast comes out, and immediately everybody's like, taking pictures of it.
I wonder what the results of this award show is going to be.
Leaving you and PD kind of like standing there to the side. And there's a few paparazzi bugs that are like, just in case one of them does go. What are you wearing? I don't care. Never mind.
All right. I think we're clear to move on, Zach.
Are you sure there are not like gonna be more pictures? Usually like there's like people to ask questions or anything.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like there might be more people down there if we keep going.
Wow, yeah, I do see some people
that, and we can see like all the way down the line. There are three people with like what looks like a podcasting recording setup there. They are three brothers. They've been asked to be there by
Who are these going to be?
Gosh, what do we call it in this universe? Jimmy Buffettron.
Oh, yeah, Jimmy Buffettron
has put them there.
Yeah, those guys don't look like they belong here.
Well, maybe if we keep going, we could find what's that thing where the guy like does a slow-mo picture of somebody, the bug guy. You know, the bug guy that does the red carpets, that he does a slow motion.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what it's called, but I saw it once on the Orb Network.
Yeah, his eyes are messed up.
Mm-hmm.
He uses them to good effect, though.
Yeah, it's really cool. Maybe we could do one of those.
We see the two of you begin to walk away as the beast goes, I'll give $1 billion. Billion to anyone who will stay in my limo for the next year and a half. And a bunch of people are like clamoring to like get inside of it.
Wow.
As he like,
I'll pay you $10,000 to wear these shoes.
he's just pointing at people and be like,
Your leprosy is cured.
watch this video of me putting wells inside of this desert planet. Like there's just screens around him that are showing the things that he's been doing. Have a burger. Like as he's just giving out things.
But then like you see like in his back arms him taking a burger from someone else.
Yeah.
like handing the burger over.
He's definitely got like a bunch of different arms.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like he's got horns.
Mr. Behemoth.
Mr. Behemoth.
Wow.
As he moves forward.
Need to clean that up just a tad more.
As he moves forward. We see you guys move on to the red carpet. I would love for each of us to give something we see at the red carpet.
I like, rather than something we see, I would love for each of you to be like red carpet Entertainment Weekly reporters.
Oh, absolutely.
To come up and ask us like a dumb patter question.
I
or
love
whatever.
that.
That includes you, my dear, my love, my darling.
I forgot that I was here for a recording because I don't have a lot of parts in this one.
Well, we've just generated the part. We've generated the
Can
part.
you repeat what the part is? Because I wasn't paying attention.
So you are like an Entertainment Weekly reporter asking what's essentially like a red carpet question.
I have to think of a question then. Okay.
Well, Drew can start us off or whatever.
There is a very tall, very willowy, blade of grass man.
Mm-hmm.
Who is he's probably like 8 feet tall, made of grass. And he brings down like a microphone to both of you and goes, "Tell us your favorite food."
My favorite food is ramen noodles.
Interesting. And you?
Oh, I mean, Petey uncomfortably looks at Zach and then is like, okay, there's
just her favorite food.
Yeah, no, I know. And she's fully like, she's like having stage fright. Like she like can't answer the question. She's trying to like remember food that she's had.
Lots of my like melons.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, melons are.
That's it. That's my good friend Petey here likes peeled grapes.
Peeled grapes,
baby.
Yeah.
You heard it here first on the Nutrition Network. Celebrities don't eat enough vitamins as they like move on to the next one as they like do somebody else.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Hold on.
You get that water.
Ryan,
Get that water.
keep that in, Ryan.
No, don't keep it.
I thought it was just a bold character voice.
Tell us what you think of Jesus Christ. Tell us what you think of Jesus Christ.
It's allergies. I'm dying. Hi, this is Hilda Darling, war correspondent. What is your opinion on what's happening on the convention floor right now? And whose side are you on?
I think, first of all, my hopes and prayers go out to everyone involved in the war, okay? I want to be known as very anti whatever the bad part is and very pro whatever the good part is. I've always been pro whatever the good part is from the beginning, before a lot of other people were pro whatever the good part is. So I am very cool. And everyone who disagrees with me sucks a lot.
Hilda immediately points the microphone over to Petey and says, so it's rumored that Apotami started this war. What's your opinion on that?
Petey, like, puts the character back on and crosses her big arms over her chest and goes, yeah, what of it?
I'm just curious what your thoughts are on the
fucking
topic.
Cool. That's so cool.
Yeah, I was there.
Oh, sick. Do you know, like, you don't have to tell me who, but is it true?
Petey leans down into the microphone. If you cross one Potamai, you're fucked. If you get between two Potamai, you may as well never have been born.
Okay.
She leans back.
You heard it here first, folks.
We see someone over with tag. It's a large bug person, but they look like a grasshopper.
Yeah.
And they look over at you, Tag, and go, tell us, Tag, what's the next thing you're going to be doing? What's your next prank?
Oh, yeah. My next prank. Right. So it's going to be even bigger than my last 5. You're going to be blown away. And so is the person who's going to get pranked. I can't tell you everything, but I can tell you that it's gonna happen, and I'm gonna stream it, and you're gonna watch it, and it's gonna happen. I'm not backing out of it. It's real.
Such a good
and
series.
We're gonna do the prank.
Can we expect any Tag mischief tonight at the Beesies?
Well, I don't know. That depends. And Tag is gonna have to. How tall is this? Is this person?
This cricket person is about 1.5 feet. So smaller than Tag.
Oh, great! Perfect.
Wow.
So then, well, that depends. Does this count? And is gonna pull a whole rat from behind your
Good.
from behind your ear.
Oh my goodness!
Need a sick rat sound here.
Oh my goodness! A rat from behind my antennae. Oh. I am tickled pink.
Yeah.
And then, you heard it here first.
Amazing.
And then, you heard it here first. We got all your best streamers right here at the Beesies. Thank you so much, Tag. There is one
a lot of
adventure correspondent who looks like an elf, but has like anime hair, like Cloud Strife hair, pointed ears.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Definitely is got like the big shoulder armor type thing going on.
Sick.
And they walk up to And they walk up to Petey and they're like, I cry thy pardon. Be you Petronella of the gold? Be you Golden Eye of the Gilded Meridian?
Petey, is this just like an elevated speech, or this isn't the dialect?
No, that's not the dialect.
Okay,
this is how elves talk.
Okay, just checking.
I pray thee.
Tell
us thy name and who thou art, Golden Eye of the Gilded Meridian.
Who's asking?
Why, the Orb Network doth ask. And there is like a floating like eye that is watching you.
Gross.
Watching you and taking recordings.
Petey looks at the orb and then looks at the elf. Why are they asking?
We are asking thee for thy name and who thou art, that we might interview thee.
Yeah, I'll take this one. Yeah, this is the Golden Eye of Gilded Meridian, who is nominated for a Beezy tonight. Okay?
Most excellent this is. I must ask, though, it has been speculated recently that the adventuring lifestyle is running its course. What thinkest thou of this?
Like for everyone in general, or for me?
Many transdimensional governments are restricting adventuring as we speak.
Why?
Well, they doth become murder hobos.
Oh, yeah. No, that was a thing back then, too. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it needs to be, like, forbidden or anything. I think that it's not for everyone. And
it is even speculated that this current violent situation hath been brought upon by an adventurer.
Oh, you mean the war?
I would call it a skirmish.
Yeah,
Wars
no. I think they've dubbed it the war. Like if you are on the Orb Network, I think they're using hashtag war. But yeah, no. I mean, I think the adventuring lifestyle in general is not for everyone, and if you get into it, you need to get into it with the understanding that it's not for everyone, and it might not be for you. And if it is for you, you need to kind of operate with some fucking decorum, you know?
Fascinating. Know you any of the adventurers here tonight?
I mean, who's to say? Maybe. She like kind of looks around.
I would love everyone to give me an adventuring party that's here tonight.
Oh boy. I think this is a cue for the music for learning.
I mean, you got No Doubt. You got the Spin Doctors.
There's Power Wash.
Eagle Eye Cherry is here.
Hanson.
Just 90s bands, yeah.
But we already have Hanson. It's the Necromancer Hanson.
Oh, that's right. Well, the Necromancer Hanson is here.
Yeah. Yeah, so Petey turns around and she's like, oh yeah, you know, Eagle Eye Cherry's over there. The Spin Doctors, I think I saw when we got out of the vehicle. I mean, I think No Doubt's here, but I've got doubts.
Can I get a couple that are not bands?
Okay.
Crickets.
Everybody's coming up empty on non-band name adventuring party names.
Crickets.
Crickets are here.
Crickets. The Crickets.
The Crickets are like the Beatles. So
yeah.
we're back into bands.
This is where an editor shines.
The Snowball microphones.
The Snowball microphones.
The Ding Dong Ditchers.
The Blue Yetis.
Yeah.
The Blue Yetis, the Ding Dong Ditchers. How about you, Tag? Any adventuring parties you see here tonight?
Yeah, two old guys. It's
two old guys.
It's a really classic one. Two old guys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Granny with a sniper rifle.
Mm-hmm.
The Attempt Gentleman.
Ooh. 9 white men. They're an evil party.
Yeah. Butcher Block is here.
Oh, Butcher Block. Granite countertop.
They just looking around their recording space and they're like let me put together random things I'm seeing, and these are adventure cards.
Countertop.
And for Micah. The great hero for Micah.
And the new cabinets.
Yeah.
Splash guard is here.
Splash guard.
The soft close cabinets.
Yes. We're in our 30s.
We're into the luxury adventuring parties now.
Hardwood floor is here.
Heated floorboards.
Heated floor.
Antique shelves.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, the antique shelves.
And the open concepts.
Yeah.
We've done it. We've done it.
We've done it. Well done. Well done, everybody. Well done. Yeah,
Rooftop access is here.
Rooftop access. The rooftop access.
Oh.
They're great. I like them.
Mm-hmm. Any last ones? Any last ones?
We're gonna fly too close to the sun.
Okay.
If we try to get better,
It'll
we'll
get
ruin
worse,
it.
yeah.
Standing desk.
Standing desks.
Standing desk. Two-way intersection.
Mm-hmm. And their enemies, the four-way stop.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of adventurers.
A lot of adventurers.
And I think a lot of adventurers do.
Wow. Okay, music and here.
A lot of it. And I think a lot of adventurers do. If they have streamers within their groups because they can stream all their things, and that's really interesting for people.
That's how they become like rock stars. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like
You know.
K-pop.
They do actual adventures.
Mm-hmm.
And we see a bunch of them as they're like moving into.
So good.
Like moving into the beesies. Let's see here. Yeah. Yeah. We move further into the Awardaceum, which is the sphere. Is that kind of what we were talking about? Yeah,
it's the sphere.
It's the sphere. What?
Gosh, what's that ambiance going to sound like?
What is the scape, like the scape that's being projected onto the wall?
Well, so this one, there is no scape. It's all audience seating.
Oh, so it's just, okay.
It's a spherical audience seating with a central stage.
Okay. Poor people that are like under that stage because it's in the center of the whole thing. I also think.
Well, the audience rotates.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I'm already nauseous.
I think the stage that you have
Sounds
to go
like
up
a
on
nightmare.
Is just a sphere. And you can walk around it as it has its own gravity.
Yeah, definitely.
So
That's
like
cool.
the audience slowly rotates around this particular spherical stage that has its
Finally
own
cleared out your
gravity.
whole farm.
We all begin to move inside of it. People are packed here.
It's a
We see
lot of work.
celebrities. We see adventuring. We see some big name adventuring parties and some big name adventurers. We see streamers. We see gods. We see demons. We see devils. We see a dragon. A single dragon has come to watch.
Dragon.
Who is it?
That's a great.
Who is
That's
the
a great
dragon?
question.
Who is she?
I would love for each of us to give a detail about this one dragon who is an elder dragon, like one of the ancients, is here to watch tonight.
Is the dragon wearing Lady Gaga's meat dress?
No.
Okay.
But
what?
We're talking about crazy red carpet fashion, and the craziest red carpet fashion I can think of is the meat dress that Lady Gaga wore.
But I think this dragon is based off of Lady Gaga.
Okay, great.
I want to say, James, we both saw the vision of a dragon, but we saw like this kind of close up flash of a bit of a dragon. We didn't see much. We didn't see much detail. But like whatever we did see, I want it to be easy for us to infer that this is the dragon we saw.
Right.
Like,
Right.
Like whether it's just like the way her scales shimmer, the color of her scales, some minutia is similar.
I think this dragon has like opalescent scales. Like with like shimmering rainbows, basically like beneath the surface of them.
How about you, Mel? What's the detail?
I'm trying to remember the name of that practice of fixing pots, but with gold.
Kugashime, I think. No. That's completely wrong.
Kintsugi.
That's right.
I think that because of the age of this dragon, obviously they were in the war. They have many scars, and they've been filled in by precious metals and jewels, Kitsurugi style.
Nice.
That's gorgeous.
I think they're an Eastern style dragon.
Oh, sick.
So snake-like, like long.
With like a lion mane.
Yeah.
Which is where the Lady Gaga styling comes.
Yeah.
This dragon is also wearing weird, like avant-garde sunglasses.
Absolutely.
I'm
Trying to be incognito.
We're doing early Gaga here.
Yeah, they take up like an entire section, like a coil in an entire section.
And like her retinue is stationed around the perimeter of that section.
And like I think there's a lot of focus on like that, because I don't think an ancient dragon has been seen on this plane for a long time.
Is that Sir Garthanax?
I think. Can I also add that her tail like is just so thunderously massive that were it to be free flung, it would destroy this place. And so it's like being hoisted up by part of her costume and like is hovered in place by like some wire and decor that goes with her outfit.
Yeah. It like had to be woven into this, but it took hours. Basically, her whole day before this was like getting this tail woven.
Yeah.
Maybe her whole week.
Beautiful. We see that as everyone comes in and begins to take their seats.
Surgical edit here.
We talked, James, about the riddle. Like, there's a riddle that everyone has to do as they come in and like get their seats. And it's given by, I think, small sphinxes. So like you get to your seat
and there's a sphinx sitting in it.
And there's a sphinx sitting in it waiting
but like
for
a
you.
small one?
Like a small one.
Yeah.
Like a cat.
Waiting. It's like a cat. It's like a cat like curled up on your seat. It's so nobody can take your seat.
Yeah.
It's holding your seat reserved. You have to answer the riddle of the sphinx, of the seat sphinx. And we were talking about doing the we just read a couple of Am I the Asshole?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So we give tag one and we give second PD one.
Okay. I'm going to Am I the Asshole on Reddit. I'm just gonna scroll until I'm stuck.
Wow.
Okay. Am I the asshole for asking my girlfriend if I still need to pay all the rent?
Yes.
That is correct. And the
PD sits down.
The Sphinx the Sphinx gets up, you sit down, and the Sphinx jumps into your lap.
Cute.
And is there and like it purrs and kind of settles down.
A little bit of a cat purr.
Settles down. Sack. Just a random one. Am I the asshole for pressuring my 26-year-old male and for my 26 male girlfriend, 24 female, to step up?
Yeah, absolutely.
That is correct.
Easy.
You sit down and it jumps up into your lap. I think it's a little bit bigger.
It's way bigger. I can barely see around it.
Is it like a real cat where like it's gonna realize that this lap is not comfortable and it's gonna peace out eventually?
Oh yeah, I think it immediately pieces out and immediately like fine, and it leaves.
Does Tag sit close to them, or does Tag have special seats?
Ooh, that's up to you, Tag.
I think that Tag, yeah, I do think Tag has special seats. I think that Tag, like, would have been really pretentious about it about 24 hours ago, but is kind of like bummed and is kind of like sitting alone, like, because of how special the seats are. Like, it's sort of like in its own box and it's just sort of boring in here.
And I think there is a Sphinx sitting in your seat. There is a Sphinx sitting in your seat. I also think middle management is here as well to sit next to you. Like, in your booth. Like, they're definitely going to be there for this whole thing.
Yeah, of course.
The Sphinx says, would I be the asshole if I refuse to come with my girlfriend to stuff I have no business in?
Yeah?
Clarification. Medical exams.
Oh. No.
Correct. And the Sphinx cat jumps down and then again is like, no, I'm gonna run away. I think middle management comes in and the Sphinx goes, am I the asshole? And it banishes the Sphinx.
Yeah, like in a
Wow. Banish spell.
yeah, like in a puff of brimstone.
Yeah.
And middle management sits down. I'm so excited. Here we go.
Oh, very good. I think. Let me see what Dylan has.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to win this award. So many awards I'm gonna win. Just you wait and see.
Don't be chuggy. Here we go. Okay.
Oh, amazing. Okay, so I think I have to end the episode here.
I'm so excited. Here we go.
Here we go. Let's push this out about 20 minutes. Push that there, and then we are going to go back to the previous episode and grab ourselves, where is it? The ending music. So we can kind of slap that in here with the, is this the right one? I don't think that's the right one. That's the intro stinger. That's not the right one. Where am I? Starwhal ending. That's what I wanted. What happened here? I don't know what happened here. I'll have to figure that out later.
So excited. Here we go.
There we go. And that's the episode of Starwhal. That's going to be going out in a week from Tuesday or so. We got a good 41 minutes out of that. Not too bad. The remaining time out there for the remainder of the episode is an hour and a half, which will be 40 to 45 minutes per episode, which is perfect. Kind of like exactly where we're going to shoot for. So now that that is all set, I think I will be either doing the sound design portion of things on this next week. Next week, we do not have pandas to edit, so we will be doing some more editing of actual play content, most likely, such as Starwhal, maybe some campaign, but I'll probably mostly do Starwhal because that would be very helpful to get caught up on a bit. And then we should be able to potentially start getting into some other shows as well at some point once I get a good backlog of Starwhal going. So we'll kind of see what it all evolves into. If for some miraculous reason I fully catch up on my backlog of stuff to edit, I think Sundays during this time, I'm going to do some solo actual play role playing. I'll build a character on stream here with input from folks that are in the chat. We'll go through the adventures together using the standard Oracle systems that are in the games, and get input for directions for my character as we kind of go through things. So it'd be kind of like a collaborative solo role-playing sort of situation. I think that would be a lot of fun. But I need to get caught up first. So we're talking like maybe months down the line. So a little sneak peek of what my brain is kind of noodling about right now going forward. So here is the start to 55 here technically. So I'm going to go ahead and stop my little timer for my dialogue edit for this episode here, so I am not overcharging anything to my good friend James. And it looks like it shouldn't be too terribly bad, aside from that multi-flashback, flash-forward conglomeration of events that James put us through. I have a feeling I will probably be seesawing back and forth between different soundtracks of the fashion montage into super epic entrance, gamer man entrance of sorts music. And then just that dichotomy should be funny with some whooshes between. So we'll see how that all turns out. But I'm excited to get back to this one and to get it actually fully fleshed out. So we are going on 3.5 hours of stream. This is probably my longest stream that I've had so far. I definitely need a break. So I'm probably gonna stop the stream here for the day. Caroline, I am so happy you were able to stick around and enjoy some Stardew Valley while listening to the podcasts. Lovely to have you in the audience. Really happy that Senda was able to stop by for a bit for the Pandas edit. That was a lot of fun. I always love when Senda's able to stop in. So we'll see what happens next week. It'll be a lot of fun. Monday, which is tomorrow, we've got Crimson Desert. Same with Wednesday. Pray for me because this afternoon I am going to be putting together the new pieces of my PC and installing them and hoping that they just work. So that's going to be an interesting experiment. If that's good, then the next stream will be much better quality under the Crimson Desert fun. And then Thursday, we'll be finishing my stables in Hightail. I'll be showing that off at the beginning of the stream. So Caroline, if you're able to stop by before bed, would love to have you there and show off what I've got and kind of where it's kind of going. It's almost done. I think it's turned out really well so far. And then all the way back around again to Sunday, after a few days off from sprint streaming, we'll be doing the editing again and seeing where we get. So lovely to have you here as always. Lovely to have folks that stop by. I'm going to be taking quite a bit of a break before I get to any other work. So until next time, have an excellent rest of your day. Drink plenty of water. Stay safe. And we'll see you next time. Right. Bye.